I watched one of your VODs and I was just like, oh wow, this might be, I don't know if she means to make it ASMR. It's like ASMR Minecraft. I don't know what I was getting into.
I get that all the time.
Are you serious? Really? That was
It's
the
not
for
on
me.
purpose. It's not on purpose. And I get at least once a day. They're like, you should do ASMR.
Yeah.
Do you want to do ASMR? You should be an ASMR streamer. And I say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's what it's all about, Gracie. That's what it's all about. Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. Gracie, how's your day? What you do today?
My day's been great. I slept through my alarm.
Oh, I saw the tweet.
By a lot.
What did you miss? That's 4 hours. That's not slept through. That's completely ignored.
I turned on my alarm and I never woke up. And my little brother came into my room thinking I was already awake. And when I was still in bed, he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, what time is it? And he's like, it's like 11:30. And I was like, I set my alarm for 7:30. What?
What?
It was a problem.
What did you miss? What were you set your alarm for a reason. What were you supposed to be doing?
I was supposed to stream. I stream Monday mornings and I did not because I overslept.
You know, I appreciate that you made the show. Right?
I really try to be prompt. It's a miracle that I'm here. Let's be honest.
That's insane. I would love to know your brother's reaction. Opening the door, be like, "Oh my gosh, this is my sister. This is what she was, truest streamer." That's when you know she's a streamer. What the hell is she doing right now?
The funny thing is, he's normally the one that's awake, like well after me.
Mhm.
So the fact that he was awake and I wasn't.
What does that say?
Is something was off there. I don't like that.
It's one of those things where you're starting to see you said younger brother, right?
Yes.
You're starting to see your siblings grow up, and they're like, "Oh, you're the adult here," and
You're way more responsible than I am. That's not what's happening. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. I'm just staying up late playing. How late do you stay up, Gracie? If I may ask, how late do you stay up?
Normally it's like midnight, 1 at the very
Okay.
latest. And so like I'm typically really good about going to bed at like a decent hour,
Mhm.
but the time change really screwed me over. And so
By 4
by the
hours?
time
By 4 hours, Gracie? I don't know. It's only a 1 hour jump, but you added 4 to your clock. I don't know how the math goes.
I wasn't tired, right? And I didn't change my computer time. And so when I thought it was midnight, I was like, oh, it's midnight. I'm gonna keep talking to my friends. Like we're having a great time. I'm gonna keep talking to them. Really, it was 1. And then when it was 1, it was actually 2. And so then I thought, oh, well, like I'll be fine. I'll get up. I'm not even tired right now. So like it's fine. And then I realized, oh, I'm going to be running on like 4 hours of sleep.
Oh my.
That's not fine. And then I thought, I'll be fine. I'll make up the sleep later. I'll take a nap in the afternoon.
Mhm.
And then I took the nap in the morning and kept sleeping.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're well rested, so you're clear-minded. You're ready to go.
I had coffee before this. I'm ready to go.
All right.
It should be good. Hopefully, if I fall asleep, I just scream and I'll
You got it.
wake up.
You got it. We're already in a Discord call. I know there's someone that was here earlier talking about sleeping on a Discord call, so I'll just yell in your ear. It'll be fine. It'll be good. But Gracie, I usually start off these shows telling the guest, telling the streamer, how we kind of met. And, you are I want to say number 63, possibly 64. No, 63 for sure on doing these shows. And it's crazy because, many people make podcasts, whether it be on Twitch or on Spotify or anything. And there's kind of a rule. You start off with your friends and then you practice and you grow. We've grown enough where it's like you and I was saying this earlier. There's so many people that have recommended you first of all before beyond the stream. Yeah, they were like, "Do you know who Gracie is?" And I was like, "No, I don't." So they'd send me your link. You're in this spreadsheet of people, and I was like, "All right, let's take a look." And then I said, "Don't look shocked at me. Why do you? I'm not." There's actually an Illuminati that works with me, and
Are you
we
gonna
all
drop any
choose.
names? Do you want
I,
to drop some?
you
I'm
know,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
will
kidding.
say
I'm
this.
kidding.
I will say this. I know Hayden was very big on saying like you need to talk to Gracie. You honestly do. And then when I saw the
Oh.
mutuals of who we both knew, I was just like it's a clean cut. Like this is an easy one. So the fact that like I sent you the invite and you were so kind. You're like, I've actually watched some of your stuff. And
Yeah.
like I loved it. That's way too flattering. Like that already alone was like that's my ego is huge. I already have a huge head physically, but now that you've added to it, it's too much. But I appreciate that. And so I took a look into your stuff, Gracie, and we'll talk about
Oh
that through
no.
the course of this
Oh,
evening.
that's
We'll
ominous.
I've mastered the teacher talk of making sure you don't
Oh
tell
yeah.
enough. Yeah. Oh, it's too much.
Oh
It's
yeah.
terrible. It's one level below gaslighting at this point. All right. It's so bad.
Oh
But
no.
but Gracie, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, even though your day may have just started. Too many roasts. Too many roasts. All right.
No, no, no,
That
no. It's totally valid. I deserve that one. That was good.
that not
I
a,
like that.
that being said, Gracie, I'll start us off with the first question. All right.
All right.
Before you were even streaming, before you were even doing any of the stuff you're doing on your channel right now, how long have you had your Twitch account in general, as well as what brought you to the platform?
Okay. So the account that I stream on now, the Gracie account, I actually made in September, but I had a different Twitch account for gosh, couple years.
Hmm.
I'd say like minimum of 2 years.
Oh wow.
Um, and I, I would watch it, but like really, it wasn't until COVID hit that I started watching a
Hmm.
lot more Twitch and because like I had gone through the YouTube phase and I was like watching a ton of YouTube and then I was like, all right, I'm bored because I feel like I've watched everything on YouTube at this point,
True.
which is impossible. But like you get to that point where like you're running out of things in whatever like niche that you like watching, like you're running out of things to watch.
Yeah.
So then I kind of like moved over to Twitch and I was like, this is really cool. I like the aspect of being able to interact with people real time and seeing them and
Hmm.
it's completely uncut and that's kind of interesting because like it's a lot like a live theater performance
Yeah.
in a sense and I love that because I've done theater for years like I'm a huge theater person so that was kind of a really fun draw for me
Hmm.
and then I gosh so then I made the account that I stream on now and I started streaming in October, early October.
Awesome.
Um, just because I was tired of quarantine and COVID and I wanted to interact with people and
Yeah.
I wanted to try and make people smile because like everyone needs a place to be able to smile and to be
Hmm.
able to hang out and just be and that was really important to me. And
I
so I
like that a
thought, you know
lot.
what? I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. I didn't think I would last long. I thought I would last a month max. And here I
Really?
am. Yeah, I did not give myself any hope. I was
Well,
just like, you know what? It's going to be fun.
let's
Try
take
it.
a couple steps back there, Gracie. You gave a lot there, and there's a lot to digest as well as
Yeah.
dissect. But let's start us off here. You said you came on and you were a viewer because you were tired. You not tired of YouTube per se, but like the content
Yeah.
that you wanted from there just ran out, and you have to
Yeah.
wait weekly or whatever in order
Right.
for new stuff to come on. So Twitch fed that instant gratification. So with Twitch, whose community did you invest in first? Do you remember that? Do you
God.
remember when you really spent time and hung out before streaming?
Um, so when before COVID, I don't really remember who I watched like on that old account, but the
Mm,
new account I kinda just let my recommendations take me whichever way the wind blows, and
really?
I liked trying just, like I like clicking on different streams and finding new people. I never really invested in, like, one particular community at the
Mm,
start because I was a viewer in Twitch, and that was it, and I didn't really know that there was so much more to
Oh.
Twitch than just when the streamer was live, and so, as I spent more time on the platform, I learned, "Hey, these people are like, they have these offline communities that are all
Mhm.
really cool," and, like, I wanna do that. I wanna have that offline community,
Mhm.
like, that's really cool. Um,
You said that
so
not everything,
yeah.
though, was for you. You said that not everything was for you. So tell me one channel that you were like, "Oh, this is for me," and one that was not for you. One that you're like, "All right, this I gotta tap out. I'm out of here."
One that was for me, honestly, I really liked Nikki Niachu's,
Mm.
streams and her, or just her total, uh, environment that she created. I really loved that, and just, like, the kindness that she was giving to everyone, and I thought that
Mhm.
was really inspirational and really cool. And one that wasn't for me, um,
You don't even have to say the streamer. You could say the
yeah,
genre. You could say what they were
yeah,
doing
okay,
that you're
the
like, "I'm out."
genre-wise, I think it's I never really liked the rage streamers, like, that the
Ah, yeah.
when they get super ragey and they start
Mhm.
screaming,
Mhm.
um, like, it just kind of is like it's fun for me for a little bit, but then I'm kinda like, "Alright, I'm done here. I'd rather not," and then I'll probably end up lurking and just having the tab muted and
Mhm.
going on with my day.
I feel that.
Um, yeah.
Mhm. No, I like that, and it actually I think it makes sense because if you were to watch, if those of you that haven't watched Gracie, very much on that type beat of it's very cozy here. I watched one of your VODs and I was just like, oh wow, this might be, I don't know if she means to make it ASMR. It's like ASMR Minecraft. I don't know what I was getting into.
I get that all the
Are you
time.
serious? Really? That was
It's
the
not on
verbatim?
purpose, it's not on purpose, and I get it at least once a day. They're like, "You should do ASMR.
Yeah.
Do you wanna do ASMR? You should be an ASMR streamer," and I say, "I'm
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. You
I'm
have the
fine."
setup, the like you have the mason jar. You have a mason jar, and you're telling me you don't do ASMR.
I
Hello, welcome
don't.
to Gracie Streams. I Tonight we're gonna be playing hardcore mode and clink 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 clink. That's so nice. I like that. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. That's so cool. I like the vibe now even more. Ever since the mason jar, it's over. Like you've won the interview. I could end it now and I'd be very
That's
sad. Like,
it.
no, I
Show's
won't. I won't.
over.
Shows
That's
up.
it.
That's a showstopper right there. All right. I know you in theater. You understand what that means. That's a showstopper. She brought out the fucking mason jar. I love that
Oh,
so much. That's
god.
nice. I like that. Let me ask this, Gracie. Let me ask this. So you were taking in the content. You're taking in what you enjoy, what didn't, whatever. You know, you're going through this journey
Yeah.
of your time here on Twitch. You said that you decided to go live to during quarantine to really put smiles on people's face, to change things up, to be a difference maker, if you may.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me about the first time you went live. How was that? What were you streaming? How did you feel? What was going through your head?
I was terrified, and, like, I don't really get stage fright or anything at this point,
Hmm.
but before I clicked that go live button, my hands were shaking because I didn't know what to do, and so I played hardcore Minecraft, and I
Yeah.
tried to set it up so that I could play with my friends,
Mm.
um, but it didn't. I just something just didn't work out, and, like, we could not get our world to work, so I had to be on my own, and it was really, really scary. I was very stressed out, and it went really well. Like, people came in and they were really nice, and it was really fun,
Mm.
but I was so nervous. Because I didn't know what to do,
Yeah.
and, my mic was I'm pretty sure it had, like, a double input or something, like, something was going on with it where I had it in there twice, and so my audio at time if I got loud enough, the
Yeah.
audio would echo,
Oh
which
boy.
probably wasn't great, but, um, you know,
Yeah.
first stream, it's a learning curve, and I learned eventually how to fix that.
figured it out. We figured it
Yeah,
out. And
yeah.
now, you're feeling good. You've built a community. You got the check
Yeah.
mark. Things are moving forward. Like you said, out of curiosity, Gracie, I want to take another, the last thing you said in that first paragraph. You said, I have a great memory. You're gonna you're gonna learn this throughout the course of this
Great.
evening. I'm gonna pick up on a lot of things you say, whether you remember it or not. But you
Probably
mentioned
great 'cause I won't remember.
you mentioned saying that you would only last a month. That was your mind, your heart. Why did you believe that? Why did you think that this was only something that would last a month? And what
Honestly,
occurred to make it go further?
I thought, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'll give it a go. And I'm very much an optimist for everyone except for myself.
Mm,
Um, and I see these other people finding success and I'm so happy for them. And I see other people growing, like, you're gonna do great. But for me, I didn't want to get my hopes up
yeah.
to the point where if I didn't get anywhere, I would feel let down. And I feel like I kind of let myself down.
Mm,
Um, and so I wanted to tread really carefully so that should things go south and should I not make anything out of streaming, it would be not a letdown and I wouldn't have to really worry about being sad that I never went anywhere. And so I
yeah.
thought, I'll probably last a month before getting tired and nothing happening and that's it.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I think one of the biggest insults towards streamers, when it's not talking about like their physical appearance or any of that, one of the biggest insults that's generalized to streamers is that they're wasting their time.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard from you just now, I think that's very important, where you're able to justify your time here. That's more than that's quantified more than whether it be, you know, clout or
Yeah.
finances or whatever. And so that's really awesome that you were able to really dig your heels into the sand and say, no, I'm like, regardless of the outcome, I'm spending my time wisely. I'm learning and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
growing as a person. That's really cool. That's really cool. So
Thank you.
what was it then? Again, you gave it a month. What was it that gave you the opportunity to say, you know what, I think I might have something here. I think that this might be something more than just a month.
I'm too stubborn.
What? What do you
I
mean?
I was too stubborn. I got to the point where, like, I had a bit of a rut, and I'm like, "I wanna give up." But then I was like, "No, no, I'm not gonna give up. My parents didn't raise a quitter. I'm gonna
Mm,
keep up with this until I am either at the point where, like, I nothing's gonna happen. I am so exhausted, and I'm not having fun with this anymore,
mm,
or I am getting to a point where I'm really loving this and starting to see I'm starting to see this community take hold and get excited that what I set out to do is finally coming into reality.
I like that.
So,
That's great. That's awesome. Well, Gracie, like I said before, I did a little bit of homework. I try, a lot of people think that I do some extensive research, and I'm gonna, I'll show you behind the curtain. I actually try to make it as little as possible because I like, no, honestly, like, and it's not out of
yeah,
laziness. It's because I realize Twitch works better with improv. So I
absolutely.
I'm gonna ask questions as if I'm coming in with complete uh, you know, ignorance to what has happened. And one of those opportunities is here now. All right. I have 3 clips from your
Oh
channel
no.
that I'd love to just talk about. I just want to talk about it, Gracie. I
Okay.
just want to talk about these
Okay.
clips. I'd love
Okay.
to know what's going on, the context of what's going on.
So
Don't
if
worry.
any of them are me being made fun of for being short, which I'm not, I am not short.
You,
Guarantee one of them is. I guarantey it. I'm calling
you
it
know what?
right
I'll tell
now.
you right now. None of the clips are show ones, all right? None of the clips, all right? I'll tell you that
You're
right
my new
now.
favorite person. You are my new favorite person. Thank you so much.
Gracie, hold your breath. Hold your breath,
Oh,
because
no.
we'll deal with that later.
Oh no! Oh no!
Just relax, Gracie. Just relax. It's this is the part of the show where the guests gotta trust the host. At this point, you're already on the show. All right, it's over. It's over. All right. If I was gonna do something out of pocket, I would have done it by now.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So I do have this first clip here. I'm gonna switch over scenes. You could, if you're following along, you could listen onto the stream. But let me switch over to the clip scene. And this one's titled Aurora GG asks Gracie if she is in need of some cleaning. Aurora GG, is this Aurora Light?
Yes.
Yo, I've had him on the show. That's awesome. Cool.
I love Christian.
Oh, we're on first name basis. I'm sorry. I call him Aurora. I didn't realize we were calling him good. Well, let's take a look at this. He's a good friend. I love him too. He's such a good heart. But let's he might be such a good friend, guys, because we're going to look at what Aurora offered here to Miss Gracie. Let's take a listen.
Hi.
Are you in need? Hold on. Are you in need of some cleaning? I got 10 minutes before I gotta go pick up some food. So,
Oh my
I can go do some cleaning if you need.
Oh my gosh.
So Gracie, can you explain to me what's going on here? He switches midway from,
His armor,
his armor to a maid outfit with kitty ears. What's going on in this clip? What is he trying to? What cleaning assistance does he need? What's going on here? All right. We're not gonna cancel him. We're not canceling her. All right.
I logged on.
Okay.
To the server to just build and just have fun, because I was like, I never go in with a plan. Like I'm just gonna build something or do some stuff on a server that we're on. We have a lot of it's a good group of friends on there.
Yeah.
And he logs on and he's like, Gracie, where are you? And I was like, I don't know. I can come find you. And so he comes. We meet up, and he takes off his armor and he's like, do you need cleaning? And I was like, I think the goal for that was he just wanted to catch me off guard as much as possible while I was live.
He goes, what if you were to say, yes, I do need cleaning, what would he have cleaned it all in this world? What is he, organizing your chests? What's going on here?
I'm the one that does all the tidying up. I'll fill in all the creeper explosion stuff on that server. I did so much maintenance just making sure everything was put together. I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I just said nothing because I was so thrown off, and he never got his answer.
Typical Aurora, typical Aurora, always ruffling feathers, always shaking the boat.
Gosh.
I like that. But I love, if he was not stream sniping you to see your reaction, he's missing out, because you were just, you were losing it, Gracie. You were absolutely, you could hear there was a stutter, there's a quiver in your throat. You're like, I don't know what do you want from me? What is this cat ears outfit? He has one in IRL, I think. I don't know, but insane.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did it as a meme.
I mean, between you and I, I've interviewed him. Me neither. Right? No. I'll mail it to him next Christmas. So
great.
Again, that's the first one. Gracie, that's the first one. Easy, right? We're just going along. We're just let's pull up this next clip here. This next clip here, I think, is really it's interesting. I think a lot of streamers. Guess here, it's nothing too bad, but I think a lot of streamers get a little worried when they're on cam that anything can happen. They might, say something out of pocket. They might slip and fall. You were the latter.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you. You were the latter, but you did catch. We will see here in real time what happened with Gracie, and then I want you guys to take close attention to it over and over. We'll play it over. Let's give it a listen. Love that intro.
Cyberslice and Fresh, thank you so much for the follows. Welcome to stream. How are you doing today? It's like this giant circle. And that's pretty fun. I almost fell.
No sell. You see what she did, guys? That's a professional right there. That's when she knew she's a streamer. No sell. Let me go. I'll go back in time. Gracie, over and over. I remember doing this. I literally was sitting here for at least 30 minutes, and I'm watching this over.
Pretty fun.
You almost break your. What is going on here? What is this?
And that's pretty fun.
What is this, Gracie? Explain this. I won't stop until we talk. What did you do to roll your ankle? Did you step on something? And the face.
And that's pretty fun.
So what happened was I tripped over one of the legs of my chair,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not known for being the most coordinated.
Okay.
I tend to trip over my own feet, and so when I have another obstacle in the room, I tend to trip over that.
All
And
right.
I definitely lost my balance a lot, and where you paused it is great.
It's just that
That is
face.
a
That is the killer instinct in Gracie. She's just like, I'm not messing around. All right, guys. Don't you laugh in the chat about me. Let me ask this though. That wasn't the real question. The real question wasn't what did you trip on? We can all guess. The real question
Okay.
is what is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you live on stream?
Mm,
In your
I
opinion.
mean, that one caught me off guard. Um, what else? Honestly, whenever it's not hard to make me cry, just like from being overwhelmed. And so
Hmm.
whenever everyone gets super excited, like, oh, break the streamer, and then like they actually succeed, and then I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to cry on stream today. This isn't good. And then I'm like, I
No.
don't know what to do. And so it like all in jest and all lighthearted, and
Mhm.
it makes me laugh looking back. But like honestly, that trip and fall,
Mhm.
I think takes the cake.
Wow, it was captured. Honestly, I feel that though, being overwhelmed by whether it be love, support, or whatever it may be, especially here on the internet, it's such a different sensation. It hits
Yeah.
different. It's not the same. And that's really cool that you're able to share that kind of side. I don't even think it's vulnerability. I think it's just honesty in how you're
Yeah.
feeling at that moment. But you're telling me then right here and there the swagger trip and fall to your seat and then having this face, whatever. What would you define this look? If this was a model look, what is the title of this move right here?
Um, this is a warning to no one to call me out on it. I'm looking directly at a couple specific people,
Uh-huh.
specifically my mods.
They clipped it.
They know who they are.
They told me that you said not to clip it, and then here we are today.
Mhm.
Gracie, what does that say? What does that say?
They don't listen to me.
Insubordination. All right, got to reel it in, Gracie. Iron fist. All right, that's how you're ruling your stream now. That's how you're ruling your stream. We got one more. We got one more clip. All right.
Alrighty,
One more
let's
clip,
go.
and then you'll be off the hook with anything clip related. I promise.
Okay.
This last one here, I think, is your most viewed clip, and I think it's really important to celebrate this. All right. And I also have another question that parlays with this, but let's give it a look here. It says the title of this clip says 3K person raid, 3,000 person raid. So let's take a look into what happened here. Only 48 seconds long.
Oh my gosh! Oh
You
my
might want to prepare
gosh!
your ears, by the way.
Too late.
All right.
It's
I
too
heard
late.
it through your headphones. I'm so sorry for that.
Part of the moment. Hmm.
Foolish! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What? Foolish! Oh my gosh! No way!
Hmm.
No way!
I love that. So tell me this, Gracie. First off, who was the one that raided?
So I got rated by Foolish Gamers.
Mhm.
He's a member of the Dream SMP. And so that's like all the Minecraft people
Mm.
recognize the name. And I didn't think that it was actually happening at first.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple people who came into chat beforehand, and they had like the raid emotes, and they're saying foolish raid, and to me, I thought no, like there's no way, because like I know Foolish raids smaller streamers. Like every
Mm-hmm.
other day, he raids a small streamer.
That's really cool.
And so I knew it was a possibility, which is why I was so skeptical. And so I think there's like a different clip of the same thing where you see me do like a double take. Because I look at chat
Yeah.
and I look back and then I like stare at chat and I'm like, I go like totally deadpan. I'm like, and then I get the notification and everything just goes insane, and I lost it. Like notifications were so lagged back that you didn't even see the raid notification until
No.
after like 10 or 15. And I was so overwhelmed because I was really close to ending stream. I was gonna look at this person's house and then end stream,
Mhm.
and then I didn't because that happened.
That's so
But
awesome.
it was very overwhelming.
For those
Very.
for those that aren't, there are some people who will go their whole Twitch life never experiencing that. 3,000
Yeah.
eyes on you. Hell, even 100 eyes on you. Huge. Tell me that. Tell me what it feels like to now realize you're like, holy shit, I've got 3K, 2K, whatever amount of eyes on me. Totally new. They don't know who I am. How did you adjust as a streamer from, all right, I'm about to leave after I check out this person's house that's throwing diamonds at my feet, to, oh crap, I gotta, I'm back on it. I'm back on the horse.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I forgot to breathe
Oh my
for a little
gosh.
bit.
Oh my God.
and so I was really grateful that the entire community that came over with the raid was super, super kind
Yeah.
and super supportive, and they were like, it's okay, you're doing great, you're just fine. Because obviously that's a very big number that I wasn't used to. And so it took me a hot second to adjust to it, but they were all so sweet and they stuck around for a long time.
That's so
I think
cool.
by the end of stream I ended with like 700,
Wow.
or more than 700, which is a
Huge.
lot to stick around for a raid, especially when they
Mhm.
didn't really have any connection to me as a streamer.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're coming over and all of that. And so it was really, really surreal
Mm.
and terrifying at the same time.
I think, a lot of viewers don't understand that the statistics behind a raid, man, over 70% don't, they'll follow
Yeah.
click out. And so to have anyone retain, whatever it may be, is so cool. And just, that's how much longer did you go after that raid? Do you remember?
I think I went for a little over an hour.
Ooh, okay. You
Because I
gave
was
it
already
money's
at like
worth.
3.5 hours. So I went for a while. I didn't want to let it go because I
Yeah,
knew like if I let it go now, that's a wasted opportunity that I
true.
was given, and I didn't want to do that because I was really grateful.
I'm proud.
Um,
I'm great.
so
That's awesome. You
thank you.
understood that. Yeah. Oh
It
my
was
goodness.
very exciting.
That being said, Gracie, all right, that's what a moment too. What a moment in
Yeah.
your time here. That being said, okay, like I said, no more clips, all right? There's no more clips. And I made a promise to you. I said no clips that had anything to do with short comments, all right? I think I did say that. I think I
know
said
where
that.
this is going. I know where this is going.
Why you gotta do it like that, Gracie? I'm putting a show, all right? That being said, I'm sure you understand what's about to happen next, all right? As much as I love someone's clips, I also love hearing what they have to say and think. And that's why I love Twitter. So I've pulled up a couple tweets that I just wanna, shoot from the hip with you. I just wanna know your brain, what was going on, and what was being said. The first one here, all right? The first one here, it goes a little office meme, a nice little office meme, and it says 0 streams since last, and it goes since last Gracie's height joke, and I believe the comment says, I'm just gonna leave this here heartbroken. What happened here? What happened here? Who hurt you, Gracie? What
My
happened?
chat hurt me. It was so I'm gonna preface this right now.
Please.
I'm 5'6". I am not small. I am above average height, and everyone knows this. Everyone knows this, but it is a meme and running gag
Mm.
that my chat bullies me for being quote unquote small.
Mhm.
Um, and we went, I would say, a whole stream without that. And I was really happy. And so then we went to the next stream.
Yeah.
Um, and we probably had a solid 10-minute argument. And I say argument, but like argument about
Yeah.
how I'm not small. I am not small, and I always fight back, and I have some people in my corner, but most of them are not. And someone posted that in my Discord, and I thought it was so funny. And so
It
then I thought, you know what? This is my way of fighting back. I'm putting this on Twitter, and it's fine.
that's golden. First of all, Gracie, if you and I ever had met IRL, whether that be TwitchCon, whatever it may be, you and I are looking eye to eye. I as
Let's
well.
go.
I am
Let's
on that
go.
5-6 team. I'm not proud of it. It's small. It's Gracie. It's small. I'm sorry.
No, no,
For
no,
me,
no, no.
for me, it
Okay.
might be. I don't know. For you, you might be a point guard. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
If it's above the average height for the American woman, I'm taking that as I am not small.
Deal.
I gotta. That's my argument.
If you're,
My argument.
if you're listening to this in the future on YouTube or Spotify, stop the tape and Google average height for the American woman, and
it's
then.
like 5'3" or 5'4".
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, you're fine then. You're in the clear.
Fine,
You're
we're
in the
fine,
clear.
we're fine, we're
You're in the
fine,
clear.
you
You're
know?
in the clear. You're in the clear.
No need to fact check me.
Yeah.
I have this so that I can fight back.
I will
Gotta have
not.
someone in my corner, and that someone is me. I am that someone.
I will not look up for the average male. It's fine. I'll live in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. That's what they say.
You know, there you go.
This next tweet here, Gracie. This next tweet, we're gonna get a little serious, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna get a little serious here. I saw you tweet this, and I'm really happy that you spoke out and that you were able to, again, dig your feet into the ground, into the sand, and fight back to something that you either disagree with or just random hate, which again it's sad to say it's a normality on the internet, but it is. Being anonymous, being behind a screen, it's a lot easier to talk shit and to act a certain way than it is in real life. That being said, let me read the tweet aloud. It says, "I find it so entertaining when people judge streamers for wearing makeup. Like, no, I won't change my makeup or do a face reveal just because you ask and would quote unquote appreciate it. This is what I had on today. Oh my goodness. This is what I had on today when this user asked those things. Smiley face. It's literally makeup. Chill out. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the third to last one. You had your makeup on, and this is what was said by the user. All right. It says, when are you doing your face reveal, LOL? And then they added you, which is very bold to just really want your attention on this topic, and going, I hope you consider a little less makeup near your eyes. I would appreciate it. Tell me what went through your mind before you even wrote that tweet. What was going through your head prior to writing that tweet, and what inspired you to voice out?
So I actually was really, really lucky to have not seen it during stream. My mods are absolutely incredible, and I know that there are some watching them, and like, y'all are amazing. They deleted it before I even noticed it. My friend Bird actually saw it, and he didn't say anything, but he was kind of like, because we talked about it after, and he was like, I saw that. I didn't know if you saw it. And I was like, no, I didn't. I'm really grateful. But I saw them talking about it after stream. And so I went and I checked my, like all the mod actions and stuff. And I saw that. And I was already kind of fed up because I've had friends who have been dealing with people just being just not nice.
Yeah.
And I was already fed up about that. And then they came into my stream, and throughout my time on Twitch, I've learned to be a lot more assertive in, this is my stream, this is how I am going to run it, and if you don't like it, there's the door, like, get out. And so I've learned to not be as much of a pushover, and so I was kind of just like fed up to the point where I was like, you know what, no, I'm gonna say this on Twitter because there may be someone who needs to hear it, or there may be someone who's dealt with the same thing that I just had, and maybe they need to hear it, and maybe they need to know that, like, it's your life. Don't let other people judge you, and don't let them change you
Yeah.
because they wanna see you different. And I was so fed up, with people just being just awful. And
Mhm.
I was like, "I don't even care at this point." I had relative like, the only makeup I had on in those pictures were eyeliner, mascara, and a little bit of blush. I don't wear anything
Mhm.
else. I rarely wear anything else.
Mhm.
Maybe eyeshadow occasionally, like I have it on tonight.
Well,
Um,
even so,
and
you don't
then
need to justify yourself.
yeah, I
You
have no need to justify what I wear and, what makeup I put on
Yeah.
for a stream when it's my stream, and I do it because I have fun with it, and I do it because I like it. I like, putting myself together and then streaming. I have a lot of fun with it, and it's part of, like, my pre-stream. I don't wanna say ritual, but, like, it's kind of part of my routine is I
Yeah.
put my makeup on, I get ready, I listen to music, and I have fun, and that's what's most important.
Mm.
And that user's opinion has no impact on how I live my life, and I'd rather it never have an impact on how I live my
Yeah,
life.
totally. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You said that I'm glad that I didn't see that on stream. Why so? What would have changed if you saw that on stream?
I think, um, I would've froze for a second. I think it would've caught me off guard. I was having a great time. I was playing with my friend, and everyone was super excited because
Yeah.
everyone's been looking forward to this stream where we're playing together and we're having a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And I I didn't want to be thrown off by a rude message or someone
Mm.
being like weird in
Mhm.
chat. It's unnecessary, and but I know when I do sometimes like process a message really quickly before it's deleted, it can throw me off and it takes me a little bit to get back on, or it
Yeah.
can completely throw me off and then I feel awkward or uncomfortable for the
Mhm.
rest of stream. And I don't want that for other people because then they notice it. Then everyone
100%.
else sees it.
100%. Because the energy changes. If I like
Yeah.
and I hope this is more normalized. Like I want people to realize I see a lot of shit in the chat, all right? Whether I tell you I'm reading or not, I see it. But like the second you and it's very evident because we're live. Again, like you said at the beginning of
Yeah.
the hour, you can't it's hard to edit live, whatever. You're reacting in real time. So
Right.
when you see it, and even when you do end up deleting it, especially when the streamer's the one deleting it manually, everyone's seen it. So now it's
Yeah.
like you kind of have to. It's kind of like an awkward thing happened at a party, and you're the host being like, "All right, that was weird, right, guys? Anyways, let's go. Let's go hang out." Like it's terrible, and it's so unnecessary. Like you said, so
Yes.
unnecessary. But they find some sort of weird joy or just need to be
Yes.
relevant in that moment.
It's so strange. It's like, I think some viewers have the mentality that streamers do everything for them and only them, and they have this
Yeah.
control over their streamer,
Mm,
because I don't know, you spend time in their stream, and if you have that mentality, I'd rather you not spend time in my stream.
yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna miss that.
Mhm.
And, like, I don't know, it's just the really strange, almost it's a very self-centered mentality that I think some people have. Not everyone, of course, a
No.
very small like, minority of people,
Hmm.
um, but it's just, blah,
Yeah.
frustrating.
100% agree. 100% agree on that. Again, we have one more. All right, just one more tweet,
Mhm.
and you're home free. I promise, no more tricks. There's no tricks after this. There's just one
Okay.
last. And I'll explain to you the magic behind it. But anywho, this last tweet here again, it's more of I want to pick your brain because you're saying a lot of good stuff on Twitter. You're saying a lot of stuff that I think is important to have conversations about. And it's not even about a specific type of content. Being a content creator in general, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, I think this is a very important mindset and conversation that needs to be had, whether it be with yourself, your peers, your parents, whomever, because it's really living in your identity. It's really living in your wanting to make this again. I avoid the word occupation. I say vocation.
Yeah.
It's your calling. You wanna be a part of this. Is your passion. So what you wrote here on this tweet at 6:35 a.m., Gracie, how are you gonna not? So you're gonna wake up at 11 today, but you're writing this tweet at 6:35 a.m. You go, anyone else feel that they can't outwardly express any confidence in their content and growth in fear of being shut down? Because I feel you there. But you should be confident in your work, no matter where you are right now. You're doing amazing, and don't let anyone say otherwise. What inspired you to write this?
I I think for the longest time, and even to this day,
Hmm.
I have dealt with this imposter syndrome that I am not a real streamer, that I am not meant to be here. And I've had people tell me that I not word for basically a lot of the conversations that I've had with people
Okay.
are I don't deserve my growth. I don't deserve my community. People were saying that I didn't care about my community, which was based on nothing but the fact that they were jealous of what I built. Because I love my community more than anything, and I am so grateful to be where I am right now. And I once had someone tell me that I was too small to be playing with these other content creators, and they didn't know why I was there or why I got noticed. Um, and I was struggling a lot with feeling like I belonged on Twitch and that I had earned my place here, that I had earned the numbers that I am receiving, that I'm growing, like at the rate that I'm growing. I didn't think that I deserved a partnership. I was really down in the dumps, and it was really all getting to my head, and I was really really frustrated. It got to the point where I was just so sick of feeling like that, because I felt like I could be happy for everyone except for myself, and that just doesn't add up. I feel like you're allowed to be happy for yourself and be proud of where you are, but I was so terrified of saying anything confident about my content because I was afraid that people would judge me for not deserving it, and people would judge me for um thinking that this is all solely because I'm a girl and solely because I I don't even know. There were a lot of things that went into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I, isn't it interesting though that those are the people that make that kind of judgment? Like, first off, the easy thing to say is, who are they to make the call? You know,
Right.
they are
Right.
not the people that are inviting you. They are not the people on Twitch that are choosing to make partner. It's that feeling of their insecurity of being small and being insecure about their own content, or if
Yeah.
they're not a content creator, then just their own life. And
Yeah.
so they look at someone else and they're like, I see that they're, especially, you notice they're not going for those that are already there. They're not going for the
Right.
established people. They're going for those that are growing, because we're all on that playing field of
Yeah.
like, we started
Yeah.
somewhere and we're creating something, and then these same people are like, whoa, what the hell's this? Why are they, why are they
Why
glowing?
did
Why are they,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a damn shame that you've had to experience that, because, and I'm gonna try my best to resonate with you on that, because I feel the same way. When I read
Yeah.
that tweet, I agreed. Like, it's tough, because when you're proud of something, let's take it
Mhm.
with content or building a community, you want to share it in the rooftops.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so cool, because you're like, hell
Yes.
yeah, dude, we're doing it. But then
Yes.
there's this weird game of like, you have to not do it, because if you do it, it's could perceived as bragging, I guess.
Mhm.
And so you
Yes.
have to play this game of, all right, hey guys, it's really cool that we did this, but hey, it is what it is. We'll
It
do more. When
I didn't actually do anything, like, I didn't deserve this growth. I feel like that's you brush it off as,
yeah,
like, I just got lucky. I didn't
Oh, I
really
hate
do
that word.
anything.
I
And
hate that word.
I feel like I have to say it all the time because these people will come and they'll say, "Well, how'd you grow so fast? Why are
Mhm,
you here? Like, how did you get here?
mhm.
Like, if you weren't doing anything special. Like, why are you here?"
Wow.
And I just have to say, "Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten lucky.
Mhm.
I I feel like I'm not allowed to say anything else. I feel like I'm only allowed to say that it was luck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can be like, "No, it's not because of any other reason other than, you're a girl and that you got really lucky with people coming into your streams."
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
it almost feels like you get backed into a corner no matter what it is, no matter what point of growth you're at, people are
Mm.
always going to come in and judge you and say, "No, you didn't deserve that,"
I
which
mean,
sucks.
I would, nowadays, I'm not even in any of that echelon, but nowadays I take it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You know, I always flip it on them like, why don't you find 63 people to talk to and then we
Yeah,
could talk about it? Or in your
yeah,
case, like, why don't you find X amount of viewers that want to mess with you, that want to hang out and be
right,
a part of your community? Like it's so
exactly.
hard to do this stuff to walk this walk because of how fickle the entertainment industry in general is.
Yes.
That's why that insecurity that most streamers have about taking a break is valid. It's true.
Mhm, mhm.
I would love to take a week off, but I'm terrified that the second that week comes, I'm
And
done.
no one will come back. Yeah,
Exactly, because the new
exactly.
flavor in town is
Yeah,
a
yeah, who knows?
70-year-old Asian man with a talk show, and I've seen him on Twitch. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm so stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. But no, honestly, Grace, like I think for me, how I read that tweet was you stepping into your shoes, stepping into your light and being like, all right, enough bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
I want you to be proud of what you do. I'm proud of what I do.
yeah.
And let's have this conversation of like celebration of our time on Twitch, which kind of is what we're doing tonight. So I'm excited to have you there. But that's everything. That's all the clips. That's all the tweets. I promise. I'm gonna ask you now. I know. See, I told you I take care of the guest. The guest is first. I've said this time and time again. No one believes me because they see the network and they're like, "Who's this bully? Why are you such a bully?" And I'm like, "You're not wrong, but like,
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. This show is much nicer. All right." Um,
For sure.
Gracie, I'm gonna ask you some introspective questions about your time on Twitch, and then we'll lean into the life stories after that. All right.
Alright. Alrighty.
So the first question I have here is, Gracie, what have you learned about yourself through streaming?
I think I was thinking about this a lot before, the show started. Honestly, the biggest thing that I learned during this journey that I've had so far is how to stand up for myself.
Hmm.
Because at the beginning of my time on Twitch, I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know, people would come in and, they'd be like, "Can I have mod?" Or like they would, message me on Discord and they'd be like, "I really want a mod for you. I want to be mod. Can I be mod?" And I'd be like, okay."
Hmm.
Even though I was totally fine without it, because I already had my wonderful mods. Um, and I felt pressured to act, um, not in any bad way, just I felt pressured to be a person that I didn't exactly wanna be 24/7, and my whole thing is I want to be authentic, I wanna be myself, like, that's the whole thing is I want people to come in and know, "Hey, she's just having fun, she's just being herself," and that's so important to me, and, so, I've had my fair share of frustrating encounters with people, and it's gotten to the point where now I won't take anyone's bullshit, and
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Gracie just swore," but,
Yeah, I think that was
it's
the
the
first time
best
I ever heard
part.
you swore. I
Yeah,
think that's the first.
it gets to the point where I'm like, "I don't wanna deal with it," and,
Yeah.
like, that's the most accurate word that I can think to describe some of the stuff that I've had to
I dig with it. I dig it though. I dig it. It's true. Gracie, what was it at the beginning though? What was it about the beginning where you couldn't say no? That you were just like, yeah, take it, take it, take it. Why did
I was a
you?
I oh, honestly, at the beginning, it was like I was afraid that people would they would leave and they would then go behind my back and talk poorly of me because the internet's a
Mm,
scary place. It's they will turn on you like that, and I
true.
didn't want that. And even though there was no reason for me to like be like I don't know, be canceled, but like that's such a big word for
Yeah,
nothing in this regards. Um but I was so
yeah.
stressed out about people not wanting to come back.
That's true.
And I didn't want to lose because like in the beginning one viewer is kind of a big deal and I didn't want to lose that one
Mhm.
viewer because that's like losing a quarter of your viewership in the beginning, especially like when you just hit affiliate or you aren't even at affiliate. Like you don't want to lose that. And so I was just a little nervous to move backwards. But now I don't care. If you're gonna be mean, you don't have a place in my community.
Mhm.
I've learned that there are things more important in life and in my community than one person sticking around. Because honestly, I'm much better off without them.
May I ask? I'm gonna lean into this question a little bit more. Okay,
Okay,
Gracie. All right,
okay.
level with me.
I'm
Level
ready.
with me when
I'm
I
ready.
ask this. In terms of this situation, you said I've learned to, I've learned to back off. I've learned to just say enough's enough. No, I think no is a powerful word. I love that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Is there a specific instance that this occurred that was the watershed moment in your streaming career that you're like, all right, this is the one. This is the one. I gotta stand up.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It, can we talk about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A member of my community was growing uh, becoming very possessive of
Interesting
me
word. Interesting.
and yes, of me and my time and my channel and my stream in general. And it was getting to the point where I was very uncomfortable.
Mm,
And other members of my team were also uncomfortable. And I didn't want others to feel uncomfortable. Like I could say I'll suck it up. I'll deal with it. But I didn't want others to feel the same way. And it got to the point where I was so frustrated with what was going on and how I was being treated and how others were being treated that I finally I said enough's enough. Um I laid out what was happening and what they did and why it was really harmful and why it was really really bad.
mm-hmm.
Um they tried to defend themselves, which defend yourself. That's fine. But don't try and excuse your actions. And so we called them out on that. Like you can't you can't expect everything to be fine when you've gone and done these things, and we don't feel comfortable having you here if you are going to act this way. An example of one of the things was they had said, I don't think that she loves her community. I don't think that she cares about her community.
Wow.
She only cares about numbers, and that's it. And in retrospect, they did say I was just upset, and I needed to come up with reasons to easily hate her, so that if I had to leave, I could. And the easily hate her part is verbatim. That is exactly what they said.
Jeez.
Yeah. Um,
Jeez.
and that really stung, and so it was kind of like, I've been here I've been here, and I'm trying to create this community of people that genuinely care
Yeah.
and genuinely care about each other, and it's not a one-way street. I can't be the only one caring,
True.
and it was a whole the month-long mess of not fun encounters that led up to we said, "No,
Yeah.
you have to leave. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't feel comfortable." And that was the time where I finally realized that I can hold my own and that I can stand up for myself because at the end of the day, that's my community, and I'm gonna protect my community from people who are going to be mean.
There it is. I like it. Gracie for president, apparently. All right. She is. Listen here, guys. Enough's enough. We're getting a whole lockdown here on Twitch. I love that though. It's very, especially starting off on Twitch. You don't want to be seen as the person that has to make those kind of hard calls. You just want to have fun.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, something's going to happen. There's going to be a shitty, conversation that's going to need to be taking place. And it takes a lot of courage, especially to kick someone out that was involved.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've been there, done that. It's not fun. No one gets pleasure from it. But
Absolutely.
it's something to preserve the greater good, the bigger picture. You gotta make the tough calls. I love that you did that, Gracie. That's really
Thank you.
awesome. That's really good on
Thank
you.
you.
Let's talk about this. How would you describe your streaming style, Gracie? How would you describe your streaming style?
Cozy. I'm going
Yeah.
right in with I would say this is like my keyword, like, that one word that, perks ears. We love the really cozy vibes.
Mhm.
Half the time I have this blanket that I keep under my desk and I'll just like bundle up in my blanket. I love coffee. I
That's so
I
cool.
always have like some sort of mug or coffee. Like I have this owl mug that
Ooh.
I love my coffee. We love the owl mug, and so this is what I had my coffee in before stream started. And we want to create a warm, welcoming environment. My biggest goal is to just create a place where anyone can come in and feel like they can just be. It doesn't matter what they were dealing with before stream happened or what they're going to go into after stream ends. If they can find 15 minutes of calm in my community, my job is done. If I can get them to smile, my job is done, and that's it.
Mhm. I like that. I for lack of a better term, I don't enjoy typing as much in chat. Just cause it's sausage fingers, all right? I just don't game. But it's like when I go onto your when I was watching your VODs and when I go into whenever you're live, like this is not you didn't set up your room. This is your room. Like
This is my room.
it's so cozy. Like the lights in the back, the white sheets that are radiant. The sweaters, all of it. I see it completely. I see right through it, Gracie. I see right through it. All right. But no, like that's so good because it's like entering your stream. I legitimately can have you on another monitor, listening fully, and be typing, working on homework, working on work, working on stream stuff, and I feel so like I don't know. It's so calming. It's so like. I don't necessarily even have to be typing. Some chats you need to be typing engaging at all times, which is awesome. To each his own. But with
Yeah.
yours, it's literally like you are the streamer equivalent of that the lo-fi woman that's doing homework. You know what I mean? That's
Someone told me that.
who's
the
right.
last- I was like, that is the biggest compliment for me. I've never gotten that before. Oh my God.
I've never seen that kind of streamer before.
Oh my
I literally watched you and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm just gonna leave her on for the next hour or 2 hours. And
That is
I'll
the
answer.
biggest compliment, honestly. The fact that people will tell me that I am good background noise,
Yeah, it's great.
that's
I mean,
that is a compliment to me. They're like, "Oh, I don't know if you're gonna take this wrong, but I really like having you on while I do my homework." And I'm like, "Thank you.
well,
That
it's
means
like
the world to me."
I can watch you. It's not like I'm ignoring, like I tabbed you down. Like
No,
you're there.
don't
I
even
I
care.
look and I'm like, all right. Oh, Gracie's gonna do that. All right. Where's Aurora with the maid outfit? Oh, okay. Crazy. It's insane. It's insane. But I love that. Like it's honestly good stuff. Like it's really it's legitimately calming and I like I feel productive. I feel welcomed. And whether you even know I'm watching, I feel welcome. Like I was like, oh shit, like This is good stuff. This is this. It's not too abrasive, especially the weird hours that I wash.
There you go.
Let's ask this. Let me ask this, Gracie. All right. Let me ask this. Let's talk about your community. All right. Some of which are watching here tonight live. If I asked your community who you are and I knew nothing about you, what do you think they would say to me?
My hope is that they would say that I'm kind and compassionate, and that I care. This kind of goes back to the not having confidence in anything tweet, but like I feel like I can't say anything for myself that may come across as cocky or overconfident. So all I can say is I hope that that's how they would see me, and
I
that
like that.
I hope that they see me as a comfort streamer, because that's the biggest compliment for me.
Did you read these questions beforehand? Did you read these? These are the
I
most. You are well done. You are well spoken. All
I
right.
skimmed through them, but that was it.
You are too good at this. All right. Fair play. Great answer. Solid answer, guys. Let's flip it on them though. Let's flip the question on them. All right. How would you describe your community to me? If I showed up, knew nothing about the place, knew nothing about who else is watching with me, and I said, "Yo, Gracie, tell me about these people that are surrounding me in the chat," what would you say?
I would say that they are genuinely one of the most welcoming communities I have ever encountered. They are always so kind, aside from when they make short jokes about me. But they are always so kind, and like I will come into the Discord, and they're in a VC and they're playing a game together, and even if I can't join in and I can't play the game because I have other things that I have to do, it warms my heart to see them hanging out with each other and
Mm,
interacting. And then when we have new members, they are nothing but kind to the new members, whether it's in the Discord or it's in chat, and they welcome everyone and they want everyone to feel welcome. And um they're so great. They're
yeah.
so great.
That's so like I've heard this time and time when a streamer can go in their Discord and see like a VC and they're not there and everyone else is. Like there's a weird parent moment of like, heck yeah, like we connected you to that. Like, yeah, you enjoy Among Us or whatever you're playing, Minecraft, Rust. Rust is kind of toxic.
Yeah,
Choose another
just
game.
a little bit.
Yeah, a little toxic game, but I like it. But it's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's just like it's really cool. It's like when your friends IRL, when you have a friend from high school and a friend from childhood, and they meet up and they get along, and you're like, oh, that's a special aura. There's a special connection
Yeah.
there,
It
because
means
then
a lot.
exactly. It's so
Yeah.
inclusive. It's so cool. Then you're like, oh, I can mess with you both. Like we can hang out all together at the same time.
Perfect.
Exactly. More the merrier there. Oh my goodness, Gracie, you've killed it so far right now. All right, that's the first. That's the first segment. That's it. That's it. All
Oh my
right.
god.
I
It's
know.
fun.
It flies by. All right, it flies by. Time flies by when you're having fun. That being said, Gracie, we're tiptoeing our way into the heart of the show, which is a life story.
All right.
But before we do, all right, is always the segment in which I will excuse myself for a moment to use the restroom. Do you have to use the restroom, Gracie?
I
Please.
am all right. I am
You
all
are
right.
wow, must be nice. Here, so the deal is, go ahead, pull up the chat. They're yours for the next couple minutes. I for those of you in the chat that don't realize this, I tell every guest not to look at it. All right, it's part of the immersion, if you may. So pull it up. They're all yours. I'll be back in a minute.
Alrighty. How's everyone doing? Hi everyone. Hi. How are we feeling? Hello. How are we feeling? I know for some of y'all it's really late. What are you doing awake still? And you know exactly who I'm talking to. Tanawuki. How are y'all? Hello, Flea, and Haze, and Willow, and Hog, and Smooth. And I saw Grady in here earlier, and Falcon, when we were team for Destiny. Oh, that's so cool! That's so cool! I've been talking nonstop. I wouldn't be surprised, Smooth. Hi, Joey! How are you doing? Hi. He's yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's busted. Hi, Denesto. How are y'all? Hello, Jack. Hi, Jack. How are you? Oh my gosh. This is like way later for me than like normally. And so like I feel like I don't ever stream this late. This is so strange. I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing so great. Vil, I am not small and you know it. You know it. I'm doing really great. Hi, Wadia. Hi, Wadia. And hello, Barely Tan. Have y'all drank water? Um, eat food? Have you stretched? All the important things. It's very important. I'm very happy to see you enjoying your time with Toms. This is so fun. I'm having a blast. I'm having such a blast right now. I drank coffee for the first time. I'm slowly crashing. Oh dear. I can tell. I could take anyone and fight. Very true. I do know a lot about self-defense and MMA. I'm just a torso. Water and wine, as long as there's some water in there, I'm sure it's fine. I don't really have any experience with alcohol, but I'm sure it's fine. I did a big stretch. Let's go. Stretches are so important. Thank you, Smooth. I appreciate it. Gracie tall. Exactly, Willow. Exactly. I am very tall. Very tall. Very proud. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, it's been fun. I like this. Goodness, Susan. Thank you. Thank you, please.
Turn on the heater. That's on me. That's
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone can hear that. Anywho, Gracie, what I miss? What I miss? Any snitches? What do we got to do?
No, don't worry. I made sure that people are drinking their water or wine if you're flea puff, which, as long as there's some water in there, it's fine.
That's true. That's true. I'll take it. I'll take it. Wow. It's crazy. 5'6" is the new Giants. All right. It's the perfect height.
Exactly. We are so tall. It is the perfect height.
It's the
People
perfect height.
always make fun of us, but it is
Yeah.
such a great height.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I actually prefer not to be taller. All right. It would hurt my knees. And yeah, it's just people would be asking me to get stuff for them. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. I don't want to be bothered. All right. That being said, dude, Gracie, you've been killing it so far.
Thank you.
And I'm having a blast. I'm honestly, it's so cool to speak with you. Kind of put a face to a stream, to a name that I've seen around town. That being said, we're leaning into the life stories part. Now,
Alrighty.
I didn't get to say this in the DMs. I want to say this here, so for those of you that are watching, as well as for you, Gracie, especially for you. In this life story segment, I tend to ask a lot of questions, and you'll notice that in the PDF that I sent you, really there isn't anything. There's no specific question. It's just freestyle conversation. That being said, if there's anything that you don't feel comfortable talking about, if there's anything that I may ask that's just too far, feel free to stop me. Feel free to give a passe answer and say that we'll move on. Like, just give me the hint, and I'll try my best to take it and go, because I want to respect your story. It's the fact that another streamer will come on to another streamer's channel is one thing. It's another that they're sharing such a vulnerable and special part of their lives. So, having done this not just on Twitch but in real life, I always try my best to preserve that secrecy, because these are all gifts. In my opinion, they're gifts. So that being said, Gracie, all right, let's start at the very top.
Alrighty.
Without doxing yourself, can you tell us where you were born and raised? Maybe it was a city, a state. Where are you from?
I can say where because I no longer live there, but I was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I lived there for the first 9.5 years of my life. My dad has a job that moves around a lot, so I've spent my my life moving around a lot, and so I loved Virginia. It's such a beautiful state. It's a great place. I was close to the beach, so I grew up in the water, which I loved.
Yeah.
And so I lived there for the first 9.5 years of my life,
That's
and
awesome.
then I moved for the first time, which was a big shock. Because I grew up like a local, even though we're supposed to be moving around so often. I didn't move until I was 9. And so it was a really hard first move and shock to me. But
In total, you said your dad had a job that requires a lot of movement. Are you talking in-state movement, out-of-state movement?
Across the country, all
Across
over
the
the
country.
country. Yeah.
And how many in total places have you lived from? Yeah.
So for me, I actually, compared to a lot of other people, I've only moved. I've only lived in 5 different states.
Only?
Um,
What do you mean? That's a ton. Only?
compared to a lot of other people, like it can really climb up into 9, 10, 15 different moves across their childhood. So for me, I've only lived in 5 states, and I say only because in comparison to some of my friends, it's
Hmm.
minuscule. However, all of those moves did happen within the chunk of time that I left Virginia to now. So really, those moves happened. I moved 4 times in a span of 5.5, 6 years, um, which is a lot for a kid.
Yeah. Tell me, can we know the areas and where you moved? Yeah,
Yeah. So
shoot. Let's go.
um, I I was born in Virginia, and we moved to Nevada. I did not like living there, and
Okay.
then, because it was the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot in Nevada at all, and there really wasn't much there, to do. And then we moved to, California, and I didn't like living there either. I would have liked living in California had we been on the coast, but we were in the Mojave Desert, and
Oh,
I missed the ocean. At that
yeah.
point, I was done being in the desert, and I did not wanna be there.
Fair play.
Um, other than that, like, it was I like California.
Mhm.
I like the coast, I like Monterey, and my favorite national park is Yosemite, and
Ah.
so I have to give California that, right?
Mhm.
And then after that, I moved to Pennsylvania.
On the
Um,
side of the what? You're going west,
yeah,
west. We're gonna take it
yeah,
all the way back home, back east.
yeah,
Boys back home.
yeah,
All right.
a lot, and we lived there for 11 months, and, so I spent my freshman year,
Mhm.
of high school in Pennsylvania, and then we moved to the Midwest, and that's where I am currently.
All right. Okay. Okay. That's a lot. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's digest that for a second here. Tell me, what did moving a ton, what did not having stability in a place where you really, I don't like saying called home because I
Yeah,
think you could take it with you. But
absolutely.
what did it feel like being so young and on the move, out of your control, especially? You're going with your family. Tell me about that.
It was hard. It I matured from a very young age, where I always felt more comfortable talking to adults. Even as a 4th grader, I was holding full-on conversations with adults, because I spent so much time around them, because I lived in places where, either there were really, really young couples, or people with just no kids, and, so I grew up, after moving for the first time, especially in Nevada. I went for a long time without having any friends.
Hmm.
Um, I and it was kind of hard. Um it was hard moving to a new place, knowing that people don't wanna be friends with you because they know that you're gonna move again in the future. Because
Wow.
there were some really smart kids, and they knew, "Oh, you just moved here, well, you're probably gonna move again in 2 years, so why bother being friends with you?" Um,
Hmm.
so it was really, really stressful at times. I didn't love it, but I also wouldn't trade it for the world, because without having moved so often and not having the childhood that I did, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, and I wouldn't wanna change for anything. I'm really grateful to be who I am right now, um, and so there were, pros and cons to my childhood.
Hmm.
I I wouldn't change it, but I also know that it did change me, um, and I did have to grow up a lot faster because, um I didn't want my parents to feel bad for moving us, so I wouldn't be outwardly sad most of the time, when I
Yeah.
was little,
Yeah.
and, so it kind of the reason I'm always so peppy and happy now is because of when I was little, I always made sure that I was peppy and happy in front of everyone because I didn't want them to feel pity for me. I didn't want them to feel bad for me being here and for me being, for me having to move all the time. Because I didn't have control over it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want them to feel bad for me. And so it didn't become a forced persona, but it became a very integral part of me to always be this way, um, which I think is a good and bad thing. But
Definitely.
yeah,
You mentioned earlier you're like there are pros and cons to always being on the road, to always be on the move.
yeah,
And I think right there is a lot of maturity rather than taking it from one, aspect, usually the negative one. You're being
right.
able to look at both sides. Can you give me one of both? Give me one positive and one negative of being someone that's always moving, especially within that 4 year time span. 5 states in 4 years is a lot of movement. That's a
It
lot of
is.
movement.
um, a pro would be I've always been able to hold a conversation, no matter what it is, and it um, spending so much time on my own meant that this is a big thing for me. I'm not gonna say this because I want pity points. There was a chunk of time where I had 0 friends, um, which sucked. I guess that could be a con, but it allowed me, as this little, 5th, 6th, 7th grade little girl, to decide who I want to be and who I want to be in the future without anyone else pressuring me to be someone I didn't want to be because, middle school is a terrible, terrible place. We Middle school is where all the judgment, all the not fun stuff, and I didn't go to school. I was homeschooled, so I was able to figure out who I wanted to be and who I wanted to be towards others without anyone saying, "No, no, I think you should act this way, and I think you should be this person." And I think that that was really important. It allowed me it kinda taught me how to be stubborn, um, because I'm not gonna let people change me if
Yeah.
I don't wanna be that person.
Hmm.
So I'm really grateful for that. I decided I wanted to be a kind person. I wanted to be a person who cared about others so much, and I didn't want others to decide who I should be for me. Um,
You actually answered one of the questions I was gonna ask, so I'm gonna hit you with another one. The
Alright.
question I was gonna ask you was, what is that person? What decision did you make in terms of who you wanted to be? You said you wanted to be that caring person. That person's there for you. So then I guess the alternate question would be, why'd you make that choice? I think there's a lot of identity during that time, whether it be middle school to high school. There's a lot of
Yeah.
choosing intentionally what we want to become, and hopefully that will, grow into something more, or maybe we learn we don't like it. And more often than not, and I don't mean to be pessimistic, people will go into business for themselves. They'll want to,
Right.
popularity or clout or pop
Yeah.
culture relevance. But you chose kindness, which is a very interesting, it's an interesting approach. It's something I'm not familiar with. I will be honest. I'm fucking cutthroat when it came to grade school. I remember my big ass head, trying to figure out, all right, how do I get people to add me on MySpace? That dated me. That reference dated me right there, Gracie. But why did you choose why did you choose kindness? Why did you choose that route?
Oh, honestly,
Hmm.
I was I was living in, um so when I was in Virginia, I grew up, I say as a local, so I had my friends. I had everyone there, and we were just I had everything, that, like, I wanted as this little elementary school kid. Like,
Yeah.
I had my best friend, and I went to dance lessons, and I would go to the beach, and I would make new friends. I wanted to make friends with everyone, that came into my class, and I tried my hardest to make friends with everyone. And I loved meeting people, and I loved making friends with everyone. And so I thought that that would carry over anywhere I went. And so when I went and I moved to Nevada,
Mm,
um, the schools in Nevada aren't good. And so we were planning on homeschooling.
yeah.
And then my little brother and I decided, no, we want to make friends. We haven't lived here. We lived here for like 2, 3 weeks or something. We want to be friends and we want to have friends. So our parents enrolled us into a public school, and I was super excited because I was like, I'm going to make new friends. I am going to have friends because all of my other ones are 3,000 miles away on
Mm,
the opposite side of the country. And so
yeah.
I want friends. If I'm going to be here for 2.5 years, I need friends. And so got to the school and I started class. And as time went on, I realized people didn't want to be my friend. And that was kind of a hard pill to swallow as a fourth grader who was brand new to a new state on the opposite side of the country. She just wanted friends. And you can't be friends when it's a one sided approach.
Yeah. You
Being
know the
friends
song.
takes two sides. Yeah. And and so it
Mm,
was really hard growing up not having those friends, and I decided I don't want anyone else to feel the way that I did. I didn't want anyone else to feel like they didn't belong somewhere just because no one wanted to give them the time of day. I didn't want anyone to feel the way that I did. And so it was really, really, really important to me to make sure that I can give others that space. Even before streaming, I just didn't want people to feel alone. And that's when I decided I'm not going to let them be alone. I want to be friends with anyone who needs it. And I will try my hardest to do that.
look at that
Yeah.
origin story right there, guys. This is episode 1 of Gracie's story. Holy cow. I love that though. It's, because we know how it feels. We use traumas in our lives and apply them into, it's kind of, what's that? I keep saying it over and over. I've said this at least 5 times to other streamers where it's like, we become who we needed when we were younger. And for
Absolutely.
for you, you needed friends, you needed a support system, not even just friends. It's
Yeah,
who's your emotional net, who's going to
absolutely.
catch you when you're falling, especially. And I'll even bring this to the present where for a moment, being the streamer, the lights are on you, the camera's on you. And so
Absolutely.
whether people know it or not, there's quite a bit of pressure. And when a lot of people give, and it's not that they're throwing their problems at you, but like you have
Yeah,
a heart of wanting to take that in. You also got to realize you yourself needs someone to confide in and find that solace. um
absolutely.
but that's really awesome. That's really awesome that you recognize that about the world around you, and you want to make that small difference. I think that's what, that step forward in society are the small differences, not the large. Rome wasn't built in a day, kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love that saying.
And
It's one
and
of my favorites.
the song I was referring to, by the way, earlier, just to connect the dots, was that Bonnie Rare, "I Can't Make You Love Me" by
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I was playing that in my mind while you were saying that. I was like, oh my gosh, I
It
might
works. It's good.
I might tear up. I might tear up. It's fine. It's okay. It's a good story. It's a good story. But that being said, let's move on here. Let me ask about your family situation. Now, how many siblings in total do you have, Gracie?
I have one little brother.
Just one younger brother. So you
Just
are
one.
the oldest, the head of the household sibling
I
wise.
am.
What's the age range? What's the age difference between you and him?
So I'm 17 and my brother is 15.
17,
Uh
15. Oh, it's not too
yeah.
bad.
Not too
Okay.
bad. And I'll be turning 18 come May. So really it's a
It's
3-year age gap about.
hmm That's nice. Tell me about your
Yeah.
relationship with your brother.
I love him. He's so sweet and such a such a great friend because he and I like we became really close
Hmm.
a long time ago when we were we kind of like we had each other and that was it. And I care about him a lot. I love him a lot. Um, and I like to think that it's reciprocated.
I was gonna
I
say,
hope
Gracie,
so.
I was like, Gracie, you're speaking a lot for yourself.
Yeah.
I would love to know what his point of view on this situation is. I feel like there's a lot of there's an empty part of this story. Is he going through? Because again, I'm thinking I am the youngest in my family. I also a male, so I'm trying to put myself in your brother's point of view, and it's like I can see where you're proud of him, where you love him, and it's actually really cool because like at the end of the day, like this interview, this show, you'll have it with you. So at
Yeah.
any moment, say you were to go to college and he's still at home and the distance kind of gets him, he can always pop this little bit and he's reminded about what his sis thinks of him. I know, way too sweet. That's too sweet. I'm matching you. I'm matching your energy there, Gracie.
I love it.
But my question is, because I'm thinking right now, like when I was younger, I was like I knew my brother loved me, but I'm like, oh God, don't make it so public. Like, come on. What kind of like what does he do? I know how you act in terms of what you've said, where you're supporting him, you're loving him. What does he do in turn? What's his love or language to you
He
at home?
he of course no relationship is perfect, and we have our disagreements, we have our times where we get short-tempered and whatnot. Um, but at the end of the day, we always come around and we always love each other.
Yeah.
And he he loves um he loves Twitch, and so he was really proud and really excited to see me here doing this. And so we talk about that a lot. His love language is giving. And so he
Mm.
gets really excited to gift subs, which he doesn't have to do. He
Yeah.
really doesn't. I always feel so bad because, like, spend it on yourself, my
Yeah.
friend, please. But he he's he's so sweet,
Well,
and yeah, yeah.
how did he find out? What happened when you told him you were doing Twitch?
So I came to him and I was like, "Hey, I know you like Twitch. Um, I'm thinking about trying streaming. It looks really fun.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm doing, but I thought I would give it a go." And he said, "That's really cool. I love that." He got really excited that I decided to give it a go, and he got really excited that like as I've been growing, he gets really excited to see that I am, and he's very supportive and very, very sweet about it all. It's
That's
really nice.
that's so cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so awesome that you guys had that moment. Especially showing
Yeah.
sharing a common bond like his love of Twitch for whatever reason, whether it be gaming or even now you, to your just trying this thing out and being like, "Oh, it works. It clicks." Like I
Yeah.
mess with it.
Yeah.
Tell me about your parents. What's your relationship like with your parents?
I am also very close with my parents. They're very supportive of streaming and of what I'm doing in general. And my dad spends a whole lot of time on Twitch. He was actually I saw him on in chat earlier. I should
What?
hope that he has gone to bed. Yeah, he was in there.
Who's
Um, Navy Holding 99
you guys
was
got me
that's my dad.
nervous. How
That's
many
my
parents
dad.
are gonna show up here and just I get so scared of that. That's nice. Oh, I
Yeah,
miss you, Gracie.
he loves Twitch, and
Awesome.
he's very supportive, and he's very knowledgeable. He's actually been on Twitch longer than I have. Um, and so, my mom loves what I'm doing. She doesn't really understand it as much as my dad and my brother do, but she's very supportive.
Fair play.
And they're both very supportive. They were the ones that suggested, maybe I take a gap year and keep streaming, or maybe I, do a semester or 2 online so that I can continue the streaming and see where the path leads. And if it eventually I decide, no, I wanna go to college, in person and I'm ready to take a break from this, I can. But they were the ones that said, "I think that'd be really cool." And I think that that's totally okay if you want to do that. Because I thought about it, but I was too nervous to say anything, and so they brought it up to me, which really shows how supportive they
Are
are
you
of
kidding me? Those are
of
all-star parents right there. That's an
Yeah,
all-star move.
they're incredible.
Yeah, because yeah, and we'll get to that section in the life stories. But you're in a pretty important part of your life. You're in a launching pad, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and it's so cool because you have so many different routes you could take. There's not one definite route, um, and each has their own ebbs and flows to it. And so again, we'll get that answer in the next segment, which I'm
There
very
we go.
excited to. But tell me this. I'll ask a few, if not one more question, and then
Alright.
we'll move on to that. Um, you mentioned being very close with your brother. You mentioned being close with your parents, and from what I'm seeing, and correct me. Of course, there are a lot of life experiences you guys have experienced together, but I think the most prominent one, at least in so far that I've heard, is the move. Having to move and not having those friends, like you've said, through your school system. You've had to really invest into your family, and that
Ab
means loving on your brother and relying and being very transparent with your parents. Um, Speaking of your parents specifically, what is something that they've taught you, both of them, so one from mom, one from dad, that you still apply to your life today?
My mom, just to be myself and, to not not let anyone else tell you who to be. And, for my dad, I would have to say how to lead,
Hmm.
just in general. Um, Taught me, how to be a leader and how to, um, take charge of what I want to do in life.
So what's the backstory for both? Because clearly they didn't just come out of nowhere. They didn't just say one moment, "Oh, Gracie, just be yourself." What was the occasion that occurred with your mom where she was like, Gracie, I hope that I want to instill this in you. What
Mhm.
happened there?
Um, Honestly, it was in that period of time where I didn't have friends, and she and I became really close because she also really didn't have friends at the time. Um, and, um, it was just one of those, like, motherly moments. Don't let anyone change you. Don't change for others, I guess. You should always be yourself because if you aren't yourself, people will eventually notice and people will see that and they may judge you differently because they know that you aren't being true to you.
Yeah.
Um, and that was really important to me to be myself always because I didn't want people to think that I was um faking anything or that I'm faking myself to be uh a different person that I think others want to see. Because at the end of the day, if people don't want me for me, I don't want them, if that makes
Yeah.
sense?
No, 100%. That makes
Yeah.
complete sense. How about in terms of your dad's advice? How did that come up?
Um, I think I grew up looking at my dad as, just a very strong individual. He had cancer twice. He's fine, he's completely fine. He had cancer twice when I was little, and,
Hmm.
I vividly remember, being in the hospital room. He would always give me the pink starbursts, and, because he didn't like the pink starburst, but he liked the other ones, and he had a lot of starbursts. Um, and seeing him recover through cancer, going through chemo, and then continuing on with his job like nothing happened, was really inspirational, and he's taken time to be um to be a leader, and he leads in his job, and he raised me to also, try and be a leader and to not take anything for granted, but also to not let people walk all over you. So that was really important to me.
That's really cool. That's really, I'm glad that your dad's doing much better, and that
Yeah, me
that
too.
that he taught you that. He it sounds like he taught you by example. You didn't need to have
Absolutely.
that conversation. Really cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's lean forward here. Let's talk about school a little bit. All right,
All
Gracie.
right.
Let's talk about school a little bit. All right. I'm gonna kind of jump here into we got to talk about grade school and how you were moving around constantly. Friend group wise, nothing was very steady. A lot of people kind of smelt or saw the tea leaves move around and realized that
Yeah,
you weren't going to be around for too long.
yeah.
Um, so let's jump into high school because you said something very particular there. You said your first year of high school was back where you're at now, correct?
So it was back in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So, my freshman year, we moved to Pennsylvania and we lived there for 11 months.
Okay.
So I started and I was a new kid, my freshman year, which is, pretty easy,
Hmm.
because everyone's still relatively new, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I was still new, and I knew I was there for 11 months, and everyone else knew that I was there for 11 months.
Hmm.
So there's always that like, do we want to be friends with her? But I think, high schoolers in general are a little bit more open to being friends with people even if they're gonna move, because you have access to ways to stay in touch, and that's
Yeah.
really cool and really, really helpful. As much as I have my qualms with social media, as much as other people hate social media at times, it has its perks, and it's helped me stay connected with, friends from all over the country and friends who live in different countries too,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so I lived there for 11 months, and then we moved, and now, where I live now, in the Midwest, um, I have been going to the school that I'm going to for 3 years. I'm in my senior year of high school. I started fresh again, but I was lucky because there's not as much of the new kid deal that
Mhm.
happens here. So people weren't like, "Oh, she's gonna move again in 11
Yeah.
months or whatever." So I was able to actually make some really great friends here. And I'm really, really grateful for that.
And you started your sophomore year at where you're at, right? Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess the first question there would really be, we're familiar with a lot of the stereotypes of cliques in high
Yes.
school, popular kids, the jocks, yeah, emo.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Where did you fall? Where did you classify, Gracie? Where do you believe you classified in high school?
I actually, I never really fell in with one group in particular. I was kind of a floater as to where, um, I would make friends with people of all the different groups because I didn't really care. I didn't wanna be known as one person in one group. So,
Mm,
I was friends with individuals. I wasn't really friends with the cliques. Um, and I tried to make friends, and I looked at friends as like individuals before the group that they're a part of.
mm.
That was really important to me.
So it's kind of like you're a social chameleon. You knew how to.
Yeah,
All right, that's dope.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
What did you have a crew yourself though?
Um, I had I had friends, but I really didn't I didn't I didn't even have, like I had a friend group,
Mm,
kind of, but
hmm.
even then, it was more of individual friends that people knew I was friends with, and, like, they may have been friends, but not all of them were friends, and just kind of like this whole, like, web. It wasn't, like, little perfectly organized boxes, especially
Mm,
at my school. Like, I feel like there are a lot more webs in general, but for me in particular, I could be friends with, um, the AP students in my class, but also friends with all the theater kids, but also friends with a popular kid or two. And then like it was all over. I'm
It's
all
all
over the
over the
place.
place. All over the
Yeah,
place.
all over the place.
What do you look for in a friendship, Gracie?
For me, it's really important that you care. Um, you care about others. I don't really love when people are super self-centered. I don't
Mm,
like when people take advantage of others
mm,
in a friendship. And so it's really important to me that um, that you're just a good person. Um, and I can kind of tell from the get-go whether someone is gonna click or not. Like if I get a bad gut feeling about someone, I probably will stay away a little bit. Like I'll be really nervous, or like I'll still be super nice and all of that, but I
yeah, of
will
course, be cordial. You know,
back
you don't want to create an enemy, but you also know your boundary. You're gonna set your boundaries for yourself
right,
to distance
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
What's the gut feeling, Gracie? What's the gut feeling? What is it? What can you give an example of where your gut feeling was correct and how you found out you
Uh,
were correct?
um, there was this one time, this one individual back in Pennsylvania, um, where I became friends. It was more of like we all kind of created this friend group because we were all new.
Yeah.
Um, but there was just like something about it where I was like, this just I don't feel necessarily right
Mm-hmm.
being right next to this person. I don't feel right looking at them directly in the eyes. And if I'm typically pretty good at holding eye contact. So if I can't hold eye contact with someone, it's probably not a good sign.
Interesting.
Probably not a good thing.
Huh.
And my gut was correct, and I kind of distanced myself from that person afterwards, and it worked out for the best.
How'd you find out your gut was correct?
I A lot of talking behind people's backs, not
There you go.
necessarily about me, but just a lot of playing the victim and then going to everyone else in this group about one
Mm-hmm.
person. One time it was me that they went to because they were upset that I went to homecoming with someone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
So, I do trust my gut.
Caught in 4K, if you ask
There
me. There
you
you go. You
go.
found it. You found it. I like that. In terms of high school, Gracie, we know a little bit in terms of your enjoyment of theater, correct? Can you give I like a little bit of theater. I did live with a theater major in college. So, out of curiosity, do you have any what plays in your high school were you a part of that
Okay.
are something that not too mystique, something that we would understand
Yeah,
that
yeah, of
you was
course.
in. All right, dope,
Um,
dope.
okay. So I have done some Shakespeare.
Okay.
Shakespeare is not for everyone, but I had a lot of fun with it because
Hmm.
the first show I did was arguably one of Shakespeare's easiest shows. It was The Merry Wives of Windsor, and it's a very, very funny show.
Mm,
It's not written in prose, it's written in plain speak, so it's relatively easier than like Romeo and Juliet or Hamlet
yeah.
or any of that. I love Merry Wives of Windsor, and the school in Pennsylvania, what they would do, their thing was Shakespeare, and they would take Shakespeare and they would set it in anywhere. So, in our case, we did Merry Wives of Windsor set in the Wild West, which was really fun.
Mm,
It kind of changed my perspective of Shakespeare and theater as a whole because it was um, very easy to understand from that point on that, like, you can do whatever you want with Shakespeare, and you
wow.
can do whatever you want with theater. It's very versatile. You don't have to stick with how it was written, and so that was really cool. I had done theater, when I was younger and all of that, but that was, like, my first high school production, and then I moved, away from Pennsylvania, I was a part of the All School Musical my sophomore year. We did Anything Goes,
Mm.
um, and I had to pick up tap dancing again for that. Um, and tap dancing, that I did miss dancing a lot, and so it was nice to do a musical. I wouldn't say it was my favorite show I did, but it was fun to relearn tap. And after that, I did some other stuff. I don't think there are any other big shows, like big names that people may recognize. I did start doing show choir. I was a member of show choir my junior year, so last year I did show choir, which is basically a musical. You're singing and dancing in costume for 20 minutes straight, and you take your piece to a competition, and you're this
Mm.
big group. You're on these risers, and there are costume changes, there's sets, and you go to competitions, and you take it and you compete with it. And our theme was Elvis, um, which was really fun. I really got into costume design, actually. I had a lot of fun with costume design, and um, had this we had this dilemma. I became really close with the costumer at our school, and so I was kind of like her right-hand man almost. And our choreographer said, "Hey, you can't have these really long evening gowns in the second to last number. You got to figure that out." And so we spent, oh gosh, I would say at least 20 hours in the costume shop brainstorming how we could design and engineer a tearaway dress, um, to have a short dress on for the second to last number and then really long evening gowns for the last number without having to go change costumes. And I figured it out. She said, "You're in charge, Grace. You're gonna design them." And I spent a lot of my time in the costume shop, and
What was it?
it was great.
What was the too long didn't read version of the solution? I'm fascinated. How did you
So
Velcro? What is this?
so what happened? So we had our opening outfits, and they were like these 50s style outfits,
Yeah.
and then the long evening gowns, they had a slit that went up to, like, 3/4 of the way up to your leg. So what you would do is you would fold it up, and you would snap. We had snaps, so you would
Mhm.
snap it over your right shoulder, and then we designed these completely tearaway dresses that had snaps over your right and left shoulders, and all the way down the right side. And so what we did was we worked in this twirl where as you twirled, you grabbed both layers of those snaps and you tore it away and then threw your dress under the riser. And as you twirled, the dress would come down and you would have this really long evening gown. And I was really proud of it.
This is, guys, this is the equivalent of a magician telling how the trick is made. All right, guys, I want you to know that right now. We got her. She's she's banned from acting. All right, she's done. Theater kid. That's crazy. I took a couple theater classes in college, and I was fascinated by that world, but I never I was a business student, so
Right.
hearing this it's so cool because it's like, yeah, there's so much detail that is not acknowledged from the audience or those that don't understand the process of
Yeah,
putting on a show, putting on production value there.
for
That's so
sure.
awesome. I like that.
Thank you.
Let
Thank
me ask
you.
about a couple things about theater, and we'll go forward with the education part. What is it about theater that captured your heart? That this is something that you love doing and wanted, prior to streaming, it sounds like that was really the forefront of where you wanted to take your life.
Yeah, it really was. Because of how I grew up, and um, I to me, theater is an outlet for both the performers and for the audience members to come and just put away whatever else is like messing with them in their life, whatever they're struggling with. They come to the theater, and for 2 hours they can just be and immerse themselves in a story and immerse themselves in this environment where no one, this is going to sound really callous, and it's not like this.
Shoot.
But it's not like this. I'm gonna preface it and I'll explain why. No one cares. No one cares. They leave their emotional baggage at the door and they come into the theater and they just enjoy the show. And that's the whole thing
I love that.
about theater. Thank you,
I
thank
love
you.
that a lot. You're right.
And it definitely it sounds callous and it's not meant to be callous. But when everyone drops their emotional baggage at the door and they come into the theater and they sit in their seats and they watch the curtains open and the performers come out in costume and all of the sudden they're not in the theater anymore. They are in the world of that show and they can forget about everything else in life and just enjoy it. And that's what I love. Because you can A, as a performer, be someone else, and B, as the audience member, immerse yourself in this world where no one knows you, no one knows what you're going through, and you can just be. And that's so cool to me.
Mm. And scene. I love that. I love that. That's no. I've had it was on cue, all right. You're in the world of
Perfect.
theater. I'm in the world of stand up. Like that that's my heart. What you've said though is so true. Like I recently, I say right before COVID, I had one of my students. She was doing a production of Newsies,
I love
and yeah, which reminded me because you talked about tap dancing, and she had to tap dance too.
Yes, yes.
And I remember, I'm having all my, I had to go drive to this high school. I haven't been in a high school in a while. I felt weird about it. My brother, dumb bubblegum over here is asking, he's like, do they serve wine here? I was like, it's a high school. Why would they serve wine at a high school production of Newsies, bro?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we
You get that out the door and then you eat it outside. Come on.
hey, we got cookies. We got cookies and popcorn,
go.
and so, but we
There
did
you
not
go.
get the wine. Anywho, but you're right. The second that first the lights dim, the spotlight is there. Everyone in the crowd who cares who you are, whatever you're holding, whatever preconceived notion, any of that goes to the door, and you
Yeah.
exist there. It's so cool. You're right. I encourage that. People need to go out to the theaters. Don't
Please,
just watch
get
it.
theater. Yes.
It's so sick. It's such an
so amazing.
and it's not
something
cra-
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
what
go
what
ahead.
was
Go
that?
ahead. Sorry.
I was
You go ahead first.
I was gonna say it's not crazy expensive. Like there's a lot of cheaper options. There's not. You don't have to get like Mamma Mia tickets in Broadway.
Yeah, don't go to New York. There are local
No.
productions everywhere.
Mhm.
Even high school productions. There are some really good high school
Yeah.
productions that I've been to, that I've been a part of, and it's so cool. And I'm a firm believer that everyone should experience live theater at
Yep.
least once in their life.
Yep.
It's really something.
Mm-hmm. And pro tip: if you're in college, you get a student discount. Check your local things. I get like more often than not they offer a student discount or student rates. Go check it out. Your local theater's there.
So true.
Gracie, I'm gonna ask you though about back to your high school experience here. All right. So
All right.
you said right now you are a senior. You are a senior that had to deal with very special circumstances in the sense that this is kind of it's COVID education. This is not
Yeah.
normal.
Oh yeah.
So the first question I have from that is how you holding up? Having to take all your classes online and the social distancing of it all. How is because I'm out of it. I'm my ass is done with school.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how is it being a student in this generation?
So I'm probably gonna give an answer that isn't an accurate representation of the demographic.
Okay.
For me, I have been thriving, being at home, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay, I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
It goes back to growing up, on my own, like just in the middle of nowhere, homeschooling. I was already, I learned how to be independent with education. So having online courses wasn't a huge change for me. I I really I miss my friends and seeing them in person, but it came at a good time for me because I didn't realize how much time I was putting into school and in theater specifically, with everything that I was committing to, I was kind of working myself into the ground. And
Mm.
so once we all had our quarantine mandated, I slept for so long because I didn't realize how tired I was because I was just I was spending upwards of 15 hours a day at school, if not more, every day. Not just for class, but for rehearsals and before school rehearsals, after school rehearsals, spending time in the costume shop, working on everything. Um, it is so much was going on, and I was just I I don't know. I didn't realize how stressed I was until I didn't have any of those commitments,
Yeah.
and so I'm really grateful for it. I'm not grateful for the circumstances that brought me this break. Um, Obviously, a pandemic is not ideal for anyone at all. I'm not a fan of that, but I am grateful for being here. I don't love online classes. I really just don't love my classes right now, and the reason for that, normally I love learning. I love learning about things that I wanna learn, and what my classes did for this year, the school district decided to instead of having your 8 classes spread out throughout the year, you would have 4 classes per semester, and every class was condensed into that one semester.
Oh, damn.
And
Oh,
on top of that, on top of it being double the speed, all AP courses are first semester, and I had 3.
okay.
And so I had 3 AP classes going at double speed, so I was having tests every week, every other week. Um, Deadlines were really stressful, and that was right when I had started streaming. Um, and so it was just there was a lot to balance and a lot of stress. And now I'm polar opposite. I have one completely online class that requires no Zooms, none of
Mhm.
that.
Wow.
Really easy. I'm definitely putting off work that was due 2 weeks ago, but it's fine. I can turn it in whenever. I'll get it done in, like,
Yeah.
5 minutes. I just don't wanna do it.
I mean, you're waking
I
up at 11, you're missing
I
4
know.
hours worth of sleep,
Okay,
who
that was
cares?
one time. That was it might have been today, but that was one time.
Yeah, yeah, I dig it though. I understand.
Yeah.
honestly, like, I don't think it's a crazy take because I think it's not actually. It isn't a crazy take what you're saying. Where you're saying that you thrive through this situation because uh, this is a hot take, but education, man, it's not a one track stop. There's different ways of learning, and so
Absolutely.
if this fits your mold, then great, like
Yeah,
awesome. If
yeah.
not, then and a lot of people it doesn't.
Right,
But you can own up to saying that albeit the circumstances are terrible,
right.
I learned that I could study this way very efficiently and
Yeah,
properly.
right, right.
Which I wish the school system would care more about, but that is not that
Honestly,
they
you would
don't.
think so. No, there's only one way to learn. There's only one right
Yeah,
way, and if you say anything else,
you're done.
that's
Yeah,
not allowed. You're done.
yeah,
You are stuck in class 7 hours a day, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, it's a shame there. But Gracie, you mentioned at the top of the show that there's again, let's bring it back. You're in a very special place right now in life where your parents have encouraged you that you can take a year off or maybe a gap year or
Yeah,
maybe do online classes that are much easier in course loads so then you can accommodate for streaming or
yeah.
whatever that may be. The first question is, have you made that decision? Do you know what you want to do?
I I have an idea, I guess you could say. I know I want to keep streaming. That's a priority for me. That is the priority for me. Um, and I'm probably actually no, I know for a fact I'm going to no matter what stay at home whether I take a gap year or I do an online course for the year. I'll probably end up doing an online course, especially if I just do it through like a community college and get those prereqs taken care of so that when I do inevitably decide to go and continue on with my degree, because I do want to get a degree, I want that I think it's really important. It's really important to me to have one. Um, and so at the very least, I'll take some prereq classes. And if I'm going online, I might as well make it cheap. I might as well do it through a cheaper source than whatever big college is trying to
Well
get me here. Like
done.
it really doesn't matter. And I
Well
think that
done.
there's a lot of judgment surrounding schools that aren't the biggest and the best or whatever. But really, like it doesn't matter. I've been told my whole life people don't look at where you get your degree unless you're going to like Harvard or Yale or something like that. And then they're like, okay, you're probably, you went to a prestigious school, okay, whatever. But anything else, they don't really care. Like you got the degree, you learned all the same stuff. It doesn't matter. So I don't really care about where I go. If I'm gonna get it cheaper at a community college, I'm gonna go to the community college. I'm going to get those prereqs and pay a fraction of the cost
Yeah.
and then go to whatever school is, giving the degree that I want to pursue.
Oh my
That's all I
gosh.
need.
Gracie. All right, listen here. All right, I used to work at admissions. All right,
Okay.
and what you just said is the life hack right now, and I need more people to understand this. No, honestly, like it's so insane. It's so. First off, okay, I gotta check my window. No, nobody's outside.
No, no,
But
zero.
all
It's
right, we're good.
fine.
We're good. All right.
We're good.
I'm gonna give you all the. These are the true conspiracy theories. I will tell you this.
Yes, there you go.
Universities are a business first, education
Mm,
second. That changed not too recently, but it's been the shift has been there. When you
yeah.
talk about Ivy League schools, I agree with you. The name holds weight, but it depends on what you're studying. Like
Absolutely.
if you're in the medical field, if you're in certain business engineering field, great. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's awesome. If I knew I
Yeah.
feel certain, but that doesn't define the character of the student. Now, as for what you said, getting your courses online and specifically your awareness is saying to do the prereqs, dude, that is OP. You need to do that because so much time is
Yes.
wasted and money is wasted
Yes.
because you're paying per credit, guys. You're paying. Wow, they
Yes.
didn't sign up for this. They didn't sign up for this
Like
lecture on
life
education.
hacks.
These
Life
are the
hacks with Moms and Gracie.
yeah. Again, I promise you this. If you're Gracie, what she's doing is the quickest method of A, saving money, because US college debt's no joke. B, expediting her education. And C, realizing that, Twitch is all great. Twitch is awesome. I think, you and I both, we have this dream and we're
Oh,
pursuing this passion. But
absolutely.
you do need a little bit of a fallback. You do need a little bit of support. And, sadly, it comes with a degree. It comes with a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about going to the most prestigious college, but
Yeah.
getting that paper that says, sadly, I'm qualified or I studied this. Please hire me is very important. So Gracie,
Mhm.
I'm very proud of your choices. That you
Thank you.
you might be the most healthiest in terms of headspace that I've heard a streamer talk to me about education in my life. Everyone hates it. It's a scam. It depends. It can kind of be, but we also have to acknowledge what society kind of how do I say what they see it as, what they perceive a college degree, a bachelor's degree in. But that's really cool. That's exciting. So you're gonna try to do both, ideally coming this fall, or are you gonna take the year?
I'll probably end up doing both coming in the fall. I think that's probably. I'd rather not take that break because I know that if I take the break, then I'm gonna decide, oh well, I'm really comfortable where I am. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really want to go back
Oh,
into the
true.
routine of classes. I don't want to drop out of that routine and lose that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see myself just trying to do anything but go back to classes.
Oh, it is tough to just go back to that life when you've been kind of spoiled without having it. Um,
Absolutely.
let me ask though, would you I guess in terms of education, what would you be studying? What would be your focus at university? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm really interested in marketing. I think
That's
marketing
sick.
is really interesting. I think it's a thing to study that doesn't necessarily require you to be tethered down to one place. It doesn't
Mm,
require you to be stuck at a desk in one place your entire career. If I wanted to do like creative marketing, I could work for a team and I could work for all of these different companies and I can travel and I can
mhm.
uh, I don't want life to get repetitive. Um, I'm afraid of having a lot of repetition and then getting bored with where I am. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to feel trapped, I guess.
Yeah,
And so I think marketing is something that brings a lot of really interesting opportunities that I'm really interested in.
that's sick. I'm happy for you. If you need any help, Gracie, and
Thank you.
this is documented, all right? If you
Yes.
want me to look over your essays or if
Oh
you
my
hey,
gosh, I
if
will take you up on
man,
that. Thank
honestly,
you.
that I'm 8 for 8. I'm 8 for 8 on letters of so you know, I used to teach a crew at church and they were from ages 17 to 22, 23. And so far I've had to write 8 letters of recommendation. All of them got it in. Man, I just got a text from one of my students this past Friday telling me they got into their university. I was like,
That's
there we
amazing.
go.
Let's
So
go. Keeping up
I'm
the
pumped,
streak.
man. Hey, we could
Yeah,
well I'll tell you what they want to look at during your essays, all right? And what they see in your grades. We could get a I'll reveal all the secrets. I've told them
yes,
all. I don't
I
care.
will
I don't
take
care.
it. Yes, thank
Honestly.
you.
Get your bag, Gracie. Get your bag, all right? That's what it's
Let's
about
go.
there. Let's move on to the third segment here. And I'm curious how this might go. Let me ask one question and then I'll probably use another bathroom break. Do you need to use the restroom, Gracie?
I'm doing all right.
How
Thank
are you
you.
doing this? How are you doing this? Someone in the chat said, "Mom's small bladder, small old bladder." I saw that earlier when I used the first restroom break. All right. Let me ask, before we get started there, how many jobs have you had in total to date?
Um, I've spent a lot of my life doing a lot of babysitting.
Okay.
Um, so I would count that as one, but I've been
Mhm.
doing it since I was like 12. And then other than that, I did one I did a temp job and I've done it twice now. It's like 2.5 weeks in the summertime with Teachers Association.
Mhm.
A lot of heavy lifting, a lot of repetitive packing, packing recruitment envelopes, and then packing boxes to send to each school district. And that's really all I've done because I viewed school and theater and costuming as my job, although I
Yeah.
wasn't getting paid for it. I was working. It was essentially working hours for me. Was the amount of time that I would spend doing all of that stuff.
Nice. Well, we'll jump into babysitting first. But let me use the restroom. I can see their ass needs asshole. First of all, already get the short jokes, and now I'm getting the smallest bladder in the West, and in the okay, rootin' tooth. That's not me. That's it. And no, I'm not drunk. That's water. I'm never drunk on these shows. All right, that's ridiculous. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Alrighty. Whew. How's everyone doing? It's late for some of you. Again, no streamer is safe. No, 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 no. You're awesome. Thank you, Joey. Hello, Dan. I'm doing good. How about yourself? I'm glad you're doing well. I am doing fantastic. I'm not tired. Doing great. Let's get you money. Hi, Grady. I am doing great. Doing thank you, hug. Hi, nerd. How are you doing? It's very late. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother fighting you on that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. Almost 2 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Ugh, that's not good. Not good. But it's fine. It's okay. You're so purely. Thank you. I love you too. I love you too. We're vibing. I'm not tired, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do after this. But I know I have to wake up early tomorrow morning, which probably isn't good. Knees up, comfy hours, you know it. Hi, Britt. How are you? Hello. You're doing amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sun's about to come up. Oh no. Oh no. I'm glad you're doing great. That's so great to hear. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have yes, get sleep. Get sleep. So important. Sleep is very important. If you missed your alarm, I really hope that I don't miss my alarm tomorrow morning. I need to wake up. I need to wake up. I'm gonna set more than one alarm this
Yeah,
time. That's what I'm gonna do.
you need to set up some alarms. All
I
right.
I I need I need to set up more than one. That's what I'm learning.
I could hear from my restroom. I keep forgetting about time zones for a lot of the people that are watching you over here. A lot of them are East Coasters.
Yeah.
And so you have, because I know you're central. What is it? It's about
It's
midnight,
Central.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow! All right. Well, I'll try to tighten it up. All right. I'll try. I get
God,
lost in conversations with you, Gracie. There's
so
something.
fun. I enjoy it.
I'm
I don't
I'm
mind.
all right. I mean, I just I'll read the room a little bit here, but let me let's talk about you babysitting here. All right. I think that's a really cool job. I myself also did a bit of childcare. But
Yeah.
what did you learn during your experience as a babysitter there? You said you've been doing that for a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, I learned that, like, a lot of people say that they hate kids, and, like, that's fine. But also, like
That's fine. Okay.
like,
Okay.
okay, you have your opinion. My opinion is that you're wrong, but, I mean, you do you.
Mhm.
I like kids. I think it's fun. I think they're really fun. There's something about kids and, like, the wonder that they have, that's just really fun to be around, and it's inspiring, I guess you could say, but it's really nice. And so I always really enjoyed it. I don't do it anymore. I don't have the time for it anymore.
Mhm.
Uh, but I liked meeting the kids and then getting to spend time with them.
I'm gonna put you in a precarious position. What is can you tell us a story or an instance where you're having a rough time taking care, babysitting a kid? Was there any? Did you have any time? Wow. Okay. Well, your eyes lit up with that question, Gracie. I am
There's
terrified of what it is. What is it? What happened?
there's one family I babysat for them once. Um, and they had 2 kids. They had a maybe a 3-year-old daughter and this, young baby boy. And baby was super sweet, super calm and, very loving, very much a lovey-dovey, baby. But the daughter was, very, very, um, I not needy in the sense that, like, she needed a ton of things, but she needed all of the attention, and
Mm.
if you didn't give her all of the attention, she would get really upset. And so it was nighttime, I was trying to put everyone to sleep, so I put her to sleep, and I was like, "Okay, you're gonna go to bed now, we've read our stories, I need to go put your baby brother to sleep." Um, and she would get really upset when I would leave, and then baby brother finally was like, "I've had enough of being good, I'm gonna start screaming."
Well, nuts.
And
Yeah.
at the time, I was in 7th grade, so I was, like, 13, and, I it was a whole mess, and she wasn't listening to me, he wasn't going to bed, I was in tears, and I
Mhm.
was so stressed out, and I broke down to the mom. I was just in tears, she's like, it's okay," but I was so stressed out, and I felt
Yeah.
so bad, and I broke down. It was so bad.
Yeah. But I mean, is would you say that experience kind of helped you in terms of trying to, I guess,
Yeah,
grow a little bit of confidence in saying, I'm the person in charge. I need
I
to,
it's me, yeah.
yeah.
A little bit, I would say, and obviously all of that comes with experience in, interacting with different types of kids. Um, and before that, I really only had, like, really easy kids, and most of the time I say older, but, like, from the 3 to 10 range instead of the, newborn to
Yeah.
2-ish range. So it was a learning curve. There was a learning curve, but I enjoyed it.
So when you hung it up because you said you didn't have enough time, you moved on to this temp job. Now, exactly what was this temp job all about?
So for about 2 to 2.5 weeks in the summertime, I would, I'd drive down to the, um, the Teachers Association building. It was downtown, really beautiful historic building. I loved working there. And they had these long tables set up, and we had all of these different recruitment um, flyers and packages and stuff. But first, we had to take an application folder or an application packlet and a little flyer and put them in this one envelope. And we had to, I want to say we would do like 50,000 of them, and there were 3 of us.
Jeez. Oh,
It was 2 days straight of constant. You got in this rhythm. You got a lot of paper cuts, but you got in this rhythm of grabbing an application, a flyer, put it in the envelope, close it up, put it away. And then after all of those were packed, they would have the representatives from each region that had all of their different districts, and each district needed a bunch of different things. So there were flyers for like everything, different like tools and stuff that they can use, and so you had to pack a box for each district. So then we had this whole assembly line set up where we made a box, we put stickers on it saying like where it would go to, and we had a packing list. And so then we would go down the line. It was in order, and so we would count all the things, and by the time that we got to the end, the representative would check it, and then they'd tape it up, and then they would take it with them. And so there were like 8 representatives and over 100 different districts to represent.
geez.
And so we did that for I think there were 4 different days of that. And then we had to put everything away. There was a lot of outside of that, there was a lot of heavy lifting and stuff that we would do. I once almost crushed my foot on a heavy wooden table. Wouldn't recommend that. That was not fun.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Nothing happened, but it definitely was a little bruised for a little bit. It was a very heavy table, but it was. Yeah.
Are you still kind of in association with them, or when did you kind of step away from that work?
So it was. I'm still. One of the head guys is a family friend, and so that's how I got the job originally. But they only need the people for the 2.5 weeks in the summertime. That's all that
Okay.
I'm needed for. So I probably won't do it this next summer given the
So,
circumstances.
yeah.
Um, but I did really enjoy working for them. They were a really, really lovely group of people,
That's
and
awesome.
it taught me how to not actually, no, I still got very bored, but it taught me patience with, having to do repetitive things, and it made me
True.
realize that I cannot sit and just do a repetitive thing every day.
See, that's the thing. I think it is important to have the jobs that to find a job you instantly love the first time is pretty rare. It's not
Yeah,
impossible, but it's rare. And
absolutely.
so, similar to dating, similar to anything in life, you kind of have to just lean into trying out and seeing if it's yours or not. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And at the very least, even if it isn't for you, you could walk away saying, A, you did it, and B, you
Yeah.
learned something. So I like
Yeah.
that kind of, again, holistic and well-rounded viewpoint into that experience. Let's lean here into the last subject of the evening. All right,
Alright.
something. Here comes they're cranking up their volumes, Gracie. All right.
Oh boy, okay.
For me per se, I'm just a facilitator of the conversation.
You're good.
What we're gonna get into is your romantic history, your romantic relationships, if you may.
Okay.
We'll do it similar to the work section here. How many in total? And I'm talking about official. This is my significant other. This is who I like. We are a thing. All right. We're not
Mhm.
talking to anyone else. How many of those people do you have in your life? Have you had in your life? I'm sorry.
0.
Never.
I've never ever dated someone.
You're gonna make this segment a lot easier for me then. Here, I'm not saying that I'm gonna end it. All right, well hey guys, that's the show. All right, that's not how that ends. Okay, that's you aren't the first person to say that, which is totally, you're not. It's there is a lot of pressure during those high school years to be with someone. I feel it. And I went to an all guys high school, all right? So we couldn't even really choose, but it's one of those things where it's like it's when you have someone, it's something you can hang your hat on. It's you saying like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I'm actually, I'm dating so and so and this and that."
Yeah.
What let's start off with this question. is it something that you're even pursuing at this moment in your life?
Um, I've kind of come to have the mentality that I'm not gonna actively seek out anything. Because if I do, I don't want to have it's the same thing as when I first started streaming. I didn't want to seek out something and then be disappointed if nothing comes out of it. So, I'm not like I'm not actively going out looking for a significant other. All really it is, if something happens, that's great. But I don't want my identity to be solely revolving around one person. And that's really important to me to like, I
Yeah.
if something happens, it happens and that's super cool and woohoo, whatever. But it's not necessarily a priority for me.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Um, let me ask. I don't like positioning the question as, what's your type? Because I think that's just I don't like that. It's weird. I also have a decade on you, Gracie. Let's stare at the elephant in the room. You have I'm 27, almost 28, and I have to sit. It's 10:50 p.m. on a Monday, and I'm looking at you. I'm like, so Gracie, what's your type? I refuse to be that guy. All right. It's moms online. It's not call me moms. All right. There's a difference there.
Yeah.
There's so let me ask this. What I will position that is what is it? What is? Damn it! I kind of like now I have to dance because the best way
No,
to ask is what's your type, but more
yeah,
so I
you're
guess
fine.
it's more of like what do you seek? Like what do you
Yeah.
appreciate from someone that you can consider within that realm of significant other? I'm not even asking
Yeah.
marriage. I'm not even
Yeah, yeah,
asking.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
I got you. I got you. No worries.
Wow. Oh, that was a
You're
tightrope.
fine.
That was a
So
tightrope dance, Gracie. I won't lie. All right.
that was so funny. That was good.
Oh my.
Honestly, for me, it's just be a good person. Um, I don't even I wouldn't even say that I have like an entire type. It's like the people that I've had crushes on in the past, right? Because everyone has crushes, but like everyone
Mm,
I've had crushes on in the past, like they're all very different people, but it all boils down to they're a good person. They're kind. They have very different personalities, but they're all just really really genuine, and that's really important. If you are true to yourself, that's I would see that, right? Um, and yeah, I don't want someone to be a mean person. I don't want someone to be uh someone who like I don't want anyone who's gonna be manipulative or like
mm,
use someone else. Like that's not cool. I
mhm,
don't like that, and I don't want to associate with that, and I don't want
mhm.
that to happen to me. Um, so yeah, just be a good person. That's
Here's
it.
here's a question that I think is very it's interesting in this day and age, especially with a lot of dating apps, such and such.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider kind of mixing business and your personal life in the sense of going for another streamer, going for someone? I feel like if I were to ask community member, that's a little too close to home, you
That's a
know.
little yeah.
But I know a lot
Uh
of streamers that are having very public relationships. Is that something that
yeah.
you as well subscribe to or not?
I think it just depends, honestly. I think it would depend on the person, the type of streams that they have
Hmm.
compared to the person and, like, the type of streams that I have, and, whether that would mesh and whether that would be smart,
Yeah,
especially to be super public about it. Like, if it's
definitely.
not a public thing, that's a totally other story,
Yeah.
but if it's something where, like, if it can lead to drama or
Mm,
something that isn't healthy for either our mental health or for our streams in general and our channels and our business, it may not be the smartest thing if you choose to be public with it.
Yeah, I like that. Gracie, you're smart. You ain't you don't think just nonsense. I've had again. I've done this both on stream and off stream, and especially this topic specifically. And personally, I'm a no. I'm a hard no.
Yeah,
And it's purely out of professionalism.
understandable.
Have we not
Absolutely.
seen the amount of people get canceled left and right? Have we not seen not even just being
So
canceled,
bad.
but the rifts,
Yeah,
like the people's communities get
it
ruined.
destroys communities. Absolutely.
So I mean, it's not a me. Now people can do it and they pull it off. That's awesome, and I root for that.
Yeah,
But I just am way too scared of the latter half, the other
yeah.
side. I mess with that.
Publicly, it makes me nervous. Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gracie, you have been so awesome tonight, and you've shared such a great side. There's so much, and again, we still have one last segment of this evening. All right, before the secret one, we have the community questions here.
All
All
right.
right. So I've been collecting a ton of the questions over the course of this evening, and I'm gonna read you some. Now, here's the rules for this one. You don't have to answer them. If you want, please go ahead, by all means. Some of them might be jokes or reactions. That's why I say you don't have to answer it.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
but yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna go ahead and read through what we have here, and then we'll move on from there.
All
Um,
righty.
First question here, Gracie. Any advice to start streaming?
Yeah. For me, consistency is the biggest thing. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get noticed at the same rate that if someone has a schedule, and even if it's you're streaming 3 days a week for 2.5 hours,
Mm,
you're gonna do so much better than someone who streams every other week for 10 hours straight. Um, Having that consistency just really helps and helps you get in the mindset of, oh yeah, I'm gonna go stream. I am a streamer. This is really important. Um, and so there's that. Find a community. If you can, you know, find some sort of community of other streamers, content creators, and like it for me, like Minecraft focused, like that's my thing. Joining an SMP, there are so many, but you don't like for any category. If you just find a community, you automatically have people who you can fall back on, you can go to for advice, and you can grow together, and you can help each other and support each other, and having that network of support is really, really important, especially when you are just starting out and you don't really know what's going on and you're new and you're just trying to figure things out. It's really helpful. Really, really helpful.
I like
Yeah, I think those are my two biggest things.
we have here. This is for Okay, yeah, it's for Gracie. What makes you so motivated to stream, and what makes you love it so much? And then in quotes it says, "Make it original." Smiley face, and this is from Glooby.
Oh, Glubby!
Glubby, sorry about that. Glubby.
um, Honestly, wait, can you repeat the question? I want to make sure that I heard it correctly.
Basically, they're asking what keeps you motivated to stream.
My community. I want to be there for my community. I care about them a lot, and I know that it's something that I enjoy
Mhm.
spending time with them. And for some people, um, and this isn't meant to sound like conceited or anything, but it's something that they need. Uh, Streams help people. It goes back to the whole thing with theater, and you leave your emotional baggage at the door, and you can just be, and that's really important. And I want to provide that space for people. At the beginning, the motivation was a lot harder to come by. It kind of came in waves. Honestly, I was just too stubborn. I was
Mhm.
too stubborn to give up. I wanted to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to try," and that's really important to me. And yeah, it was my community. I care so much about them that I want to be there for for them, and I want to do those streams for them.
Gracie, what's your mindset on how you live your life, your personal life?
don't live with regrets. Um, if you live with regrets, you won't be able to move forward, and you won't be as motivated in life because you're gonna have
Mm,
things weighing you down. So, no regrets. Do the things that make you happy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because if you do and you listen to them, then they have control over you. And I'm not about that. I want to do what makes me happy, and I want to be who I want to be.
there it
Uh,
is.
and I don't want anyone else to tell me otherwise.
Love it. Okay, here comes someone shooting their shot. What's the type of person you would date? This is go ahead. The floor is
I
yours, Gracie. The floor is yours. All right.
I don't even know. Listen, this is coming from someone who's never been in a relationship before. I don't know. Um, I see you're shooting your shot. Just be a nice person. I don't know.
And show up to her stream whenever she's like Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Right? No, that's bad.
That's slowly but sure. Nah, yeah, it's brutal, Gracie.
Infiltrate the community. Yeah.
Yeah. Learn about it. Ask her questions. It's oh my god. Join the Discord. There's I think. Whoa, Gracie. Whoa, what's going on? And why is there so many pings on your Discord welcome section? No, that's not.
Oh,
That's not me.
jeez.
You think that's me?
Really?
You think I'm looking at that? No, get out of town. All right. Let me ask this. All right. Next question here says, what made you specifically decide to play video games in stream rather than doing anything else? Maybe they're asking specifically Minecraft in this question
Yeah,
too.
like viewer games is
Yes.
what they said. So for me, I think it's really helpful to keep up with building that community. You have obviously I love meeting my content creator friends, playing with them and all of that, but there's um it's also important to like put some time back into the community that spends so much time with me. Um because I view them as my family. It's my little family that I've grown, and so we play Bed Wars in our Discord sometimes. We'll do,
Mhm.
like, private games, we'll hang out the VC. I have a server dedicated just to viewers and stuff, and so I'll play on there. And it's I think it in on Twitch, there are so many big streamers where you know you're never gonna get noticed. You know that. But it's important to show that there are streamers out there where you can interact with them. They're not some mythic being on a screen that is untouchable and you can't interact with them, right? There are people who are there just they want to have fun with you and they're here for you. And I think it's really important to help people realize that.
Mhm. No, it's true. That's so true. I think a lot of people don't recognize that at the end of the day, it's there's the human moment. You know, we are
Yeah,
people. That's what I'm realizing from
yeah,
the show more and more.
yeah.
And
I,
what was that?
I was gonna say like I get DMs of people who message me saying, "Hey, you've really helped me. I'm really grateful for your streams. Thank you so much." And I'll respond to them saying, like,
Mm.
"Of course, like, I'm so glad you're here. I'm really glad they can help." And they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't think you were gonna respond. Thank you so much." And I had two of those today, and they responded the exact same way. Both of them had it was like almost like they copy and pasted two different people, but they were both like, "I didn't think you were gonna respond. OMG, you respond to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really try. I try to respond to as many as possible, and I'm really grateful that
I
you're
think
here."
I think
It's just
that was my reaction when you said you would do the show. I think that was the exact same thing. I was trying to. It's like, wait, what? You're Gracie. What you want to do? All right, fine, fair. Let's do this. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
Okay.
But I love that, Gracie. That's awesome. You're right on.
Yeah.
It's that humanizing moment of like, yeah, feel free to reach out. And same thing. I had someone really wanted VC. VC's harder. If you send a message to me more often than not, I could answer that on my own pace. VC, I'm
Absolutely.
all over the place, man. And I
Yeah.
feel bad. I was just like,
I can't do VCs. Like, you DM me, that's fine, but if you're trying to, like, get
mhm.
me into a VC,
I'm like,
I
that's a
that's
little
where I
much.
kinda draw the line.
Yep. I feel you on that. Gracie,
Mhm.
what's your daily routine?
I wake up, usually not at 11:30.
Mm.
I wake up and I get my coffee and I typically stream in the morning, so I'll get my coffee and then I'll sit down on my computer and turn everything on. And I have like all of my makeup and stuff
Yeah.
at my desk, and I just do it at my desk. Put on music and I just kind of vibe, and then I stream, and then after stream I will eat food. I'm not really a morning like breakfast person, so I typically don't eat until after stream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just kind of a me thing, and I'll do some work if I feel like doing work, or I'll do content work instead of schoolwork because who cares about that? Am I right?
Truth.
And and so then I just spend the rest of the day um, either with my friends or doing work or um, that's really it. It's pretty simple right now,
That's it.
but I really enjoy it.
It says here, what kind of coffee you love drinking and brewing? I know that that's a big part of your life. What you
It
got?
is. I do love coffee. Honestly, so I take my coffee um, just with a little bit of oat milk. That's all I do.
Yeah.
I don't put anything crazy in it. I'll get a full mug, and they're pretty big mugs. And I do a mug with oat milk, and that's really it. I'm not super picky. Like if I go out, I'll probably get a latte.
Oh,
Just
same.
I love lattes. I think they're really good. Um, Occasionally, like sometimes I'll get a sweet drink like a mocha or something.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, really, I'm not a huge sweet coffee person. I just like it simple.
Do you
Oat
do
milk or almond milk.
do you do
That's it.
French press? Do you do on a hot plate? What are we talking in terms of making
We're
coffee?
talking like because my family we all love coffee. Everyone but my little brother, and so we make like a whole carafe of
Woo. Wait,
coffee.
do you have the like thing the instrument for it? Is it what do you mean by carafe of it?
I don't know what it is. That's like what they're calling it. That what my parents are calling it. I'm like, that's cool. It sounds fancy and it looks cool, but it's like a hot plate, but fancier because my dad all of a sudden became a coffee aficionado.
Okay.
He went for over a decade hating coffee because the only experience he had with coffee was on an airplane without my mom, who's a huge coffee drinker. He was on an airplane. It was a red-eye flight, and they gave him 3 sugars and, like, 6 creams or vice versa or something, and he didn't know what to do. So he
Mm.
had crappy, watery airplane coffee, and he thought that he was supposed to put everything that they gave him into the coffee.
Yeah.
He put it all in, and he tried it, and he hated it,
I
and
love
so
that.
for almost my entire life up until 2 years ago,
Yeah.
he hated coffee. He refused to drink it. My mom was kinda like, "You have to just give it a go. Just try it." It's like when you try something you don't like the first time, maybe you just had a bad one. You have to get used to
Yeah.
the taste, and I'm gonna make you a better coffee than the
True.
airplane coffee that you had with, like, the 6 sugars and 3 creams or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
you're gonna have it better, right? And so then he did, and he likes it. So now he makes all the coffee, and so now he's, like, coffee connoisseur here.
So okay. Now you see I'm from Seattle, so this is the snootiness in me
Oh,
that
I love Seattle.
oh my goodness. See that's what I'm saying. All right, that's what I'm. Thank you. Throw some respect on our name there. But no, what I'm asking is when you say carafe, this is all I need to know. Is there a handle on it, or are they using like this paper thing that they have to water down?
Oh, there's a handle. There's a
Okay,
handle
yeah,
on
I know what your dad's doing then. Okay, gotcha.
it. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
I know.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's good stuff. I might need to just ask your dad where he gets his beans. Anywho, see now we're getting way too into this.
Local
It's too much
brewery,
coffee talk.
local roastery, local coffee place.
All right,
Gotta go local.
I respect your father. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's so true. What? Thank you. Yes. Let me ask. I got about 4 more questions here. Let me read you them here. It says, what games other than Minecraft would you branch into? Would you consider being a variety-based streamer?
Okay. I right now I'm kind of riding the wave of Minecraft. I will eventually most likely branch into more variety. But for now I'm kind of sticking with what's really working for me and what I'm really enjoying. Um, I think it all kind of just depends on the state of the Minecraft category on Twitch. That's really going to determine how much I branch out and
Mm,
how much I stay the same. I can see myself doing a lot of indie games. All I love really is the collaboration. I love collaborating, so if I can get friends along with the ride, super cool. And I play other games off stream. Like I play Stardew Valley off stream. I play Valorant with friends, but I really don't play Valorant because I'm really bad at it.
same.
So really, like I'll do Stardew Valley on my own. I'll play random games. My all-time favorite game, actually, if anyone's looking for a good game, is Ori and the Blind Forest, and then its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Beautiful game. Honestly, like my all-time favorite game. It has the most beautiful soundtrack and the most beautiful animations, and I can play that game for hours.
Hmm.
Just I love it so much. Like I love those games. And I would maybe play them, but also I know what works for me now is working, and so I kind of get my
Yeah.
variety off stream because
Mhm.
I know a lot of people come for those 3 hours for the Minecraft. That's what they
Mhm.
come for, and,
Sure.
otherwise, they probably wouldn't stick around, and so I wanna make sure that I'm catering to my audience, as much as possible.
Mhm. I like that. Have you already played through the new DLC stuff on Stardew?
I haven't. I'm very new to Stardew.
Oh
Um,
man, what
I
season?
love it. Uh, think I'm in the world that I'm in right now, I think I'm in summer. Think very
Uh,
bad at it.
Plants and blueberries. That's the highest growing crop. That's the
Got you,
cash
got you.
crop. I played
Oh
that
my
game like
mhm.
an econ major. Like I only care. I'm like I played with my friend Meg, and she's like, I want to talk
Oh
to all the people. I want to talk to all the characters, and I'm like, no, we need to
no.
buy the highest seed and growth ratio. And I know if you name me any time of the season in Stardew Valley, I know exactly what crop you need to make the most amount of cash. It's
I
sick.
love
It's
that.
sickening. Fall is cranberries. Fun fact. All right.
Cranberries. I'm gonna keep notes. I will write
Oh,
that
okay.
down.
Strawberries for spring, if you were wondering.
I
Anywho,
learned that totally on accident. I bought 1 strawberry seed and I made so much money from it.
mm-hmm.
I will take that as a win.
Do by the way, just one more pro tip. Just do the community one where you can get the greenhouse. That's the most important one in
Okay.
terms of because then you can grow during the winter. But anyways,
Oh,
anyways,
yeah, I like that, I like that.
you know,
We
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 got
like
to talk about that. We don't got to talk
versatility.
about that. That's a whole other game. That's a whole other thing. But uh, let me ask this: what do you think led to your big boom in growth the past couple months, Gracie?
Ah, see, this is like when I say I got lucky, I say the Twitch algorithm decided to like me. Um,
Mm,
and all of the sudden I was seeing growth, and I got partnered and I was growing, but it was still like kind of like to the point where like I am now. It was switching. Honestly, the growth that I'm seeing right now is because I switched from my noon streams to streaming in the morning.
mm,
That was huge for me. Um, that's really where I saw it. But um, I've always seen a lot of growth, no matter when I stream, except for when it's like super late at night. That's like the only time that I can't stream because I'm just too tired for that. I can't keep up a stream on my own late at night. I wish I could be one of those streamers because that would be pretty cool, but I can't. Um, I think it got to the point where I got lucky with the algorithm, and the
what does that
algorithm
mean, though?
decided.
What do you mean by lucky with the algorithm? What did the algorithm do for you?
It started pushing me out to a lot of really visible places on Twitch. And this is I say that I don't know where I went, but friends would see like they're like, "Oh yeah, like you were on the recommended page or you were at the top of the Minecraft category and you're getting pushed out to a lot of people." And so like a lot of people are clicking on your streams and they might stick around and so you're like clicks on the stream versus how many people are staying in the stream, how many people are following, it's really good because you're getting pushed out to so many people and they're staying. And so then the algorithm likes you even more. And it's like this feedback loop of if you can make people stay, you can make people follow, like not make people follow, but if people decide to follow and stay when they click in, it keeps cycling around and you get recommended even more. And so that's what I say, like when the algorithm likes you, or when the algorithm decided to like me, they were just pushing me out to really, really visible places on Twitch.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that makes more sense. I like that.
yeah.
You play guitar, Gracie?
I'm learning. I am trying. This is a new guitar. I've wanted to learn for years, and we have this big Ovation guitar that has a rounded back, and it's really really hard to play, especially for my size. Like it's this giant guitar, and it slips down off my lap every time that I try to use it.
Whoa. Now we're gonna be complaining about our size. All right,
No,
Gracie.
no.
What
It's the size of the guitar. I like this guitar is actually it's a traveler guitar, so it's
Ooh.
smaller.
Yeah.
So like a I can wrap my hands around the neck, and B it doesn't have a rounded back, so it's not going to slip off my lap. That's the problem that I had was that rounded back. But I'm learning the guitar.
Well, the thing is, that wasn't even the real question. The real question was, wow, you gave me your life story in Guitar Center over here. What I wanted to ask you, what I wanted to ask was, can you play us a little bit of guitar? I was setting us up, but I don't. It's up to you. You tell us if you're comfortable doing it. Hey, by all means.
I can show you. I know like 3 chords, and that's it. Even if that. Grady, if you're here, I'm sorry for your ears. I know you play the guitar.
Here it comes.
It's bad. I know that's a C chord.
Wait a second. Are you with your family right now? Aren't you? Aren't they around you?
They're fine.
Okay.
They're asleep and very good sleepers, and I'm quiet. And I'm on the other side of the house. That's fine.
Okay, go ahead then.
I think that's an A chord. I don't really know. And then that's a G chord. That's all I know. That's literally it. I know.
So you just started off with chords. That's good though. That's good. That's good.
I can play the ukulele a lot better than I can play the guitar.
Get the uke, Gracie. Get the uke. Are you kidding me? How are you? Why would you even tell me that? Why would you? There's no combination. No put it. You go, Jack Johnson. Go get your uke. What is this?
It got out of tune because a little kid decided to play the strings really hard, and I can't. I have to tune it.
And this is why we don't like children, Gracie. This is the reason why people. Go ahead. Can you show us it as much as you want?
I'll show you. I do love playing it.
We got the uke solo. All right, we're getting the uke solo. That's she's cracked at the geet box. What? It's showtime. Oh my goodness. What up, Eric? Freaking kids. That's what I'm saying. These kids ruin everything. All right.
So true. So true. Yes, this is the uke.
All right.
I can show you how it makes me cringe inside how out of tune it is.
I hear, okay, of the 4 strings, it's like there's half of them. Are they all off?
No, I think these 2 are fine. No, this one's flat. It's just like it sounds like it's in a minor key almost.
What song? Like I'm not gonna ask you to play. What song could you play on the uke?
I know Riptide pretty well actually. I can play Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh.
I can play the Lava song from the Disney short. That one's really fun. I like that one.
Why is that not in your channel points, Gracie? Why is ukulele not in?
I get nervous to sing on stream and all of that. Maybe one day I'll make it.
We could have TikTok duetted the Over the Rainbow. I would have gladly sang that for you.
Dang, that would have been so good.
We're talking the old school version too, all right?
Yes,
the one for Gabby. All right. I'll read you one last thing here, and we'll move on to our final segment, all right? Um,
Alright.
let me make sure I actually have it here. The the question, actually, it's not even a question. It's more of a comment. And I love to end on these ones, so it's a lot more lax for you, and then just to kind of accept the kind words that are be given your way. It says, "Hey Gracie, from this interview, I could tell you're such a great person. I see a lot of myself in you. I've been having a hard time in life, and seeing you make it through your situation gives me hope for mine. Keep up the good work. Heart." There's no name. Um, I think this might be something that is amongst all the stuff in our own lives. Gracie, you've shared plus 3 hours of yourself talking about the moves in your life, your experience at school, your love of theater, what you look for in a romantic partner, and we've gone through the ringer of it all, but very rarely do we kind of take in our own lives and what we do for those that we show up for. Your advice in its soul was to show up, consistency. The way I would say it is to show up, because Twitch is a game of showing up, and partnered with consistently, and for you to do that is no surprise uh, that you've been able to attain success in what you do, and how you do that. That being said, I usually save all the kind words for the end, and we'll get to that afterwards. But here's the thing, Gracie. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your story. But much like anything in life, nothing's free. All right. So I got two things you're gonna have to do for me. All right, Gracie?
All right.
Are
What's
you
up?
ready? The
Yes.
first thing I
Okay.
need from you is, do you have the stream up?
I do.
Can you go on the back end and see who's watching the stream, and pick a
Yes.
name that isn't myself, a mod, or a current VIP? Any
Okay.
name.
Any name. Weeping Willow 129.
All right, Weeping Willow 129, are you here? I feel like I'm playing Phasmophobia. Are you here? Oh, there you are, Weeping Willow 129. All right, what happens here, Weeping Willow? Let me write your name down. Weeping Willow 129. You've won VIP. So the game is very simple with what happens here. The only difference is, and it's pretty recent rule change, I have the guest, you, Gracie, choose which of the current VIPs is going to lose their badge. You can't choose a view above. I know everyone wants to. But he won the rock, paper, scissors tournament I hosted in January. And it's lifetime, baby. So I'm going to spam the chat here, all right? I'm going to spam the chat here. And whoever's name you want to take out that isn't a view above, you are willing to. But, Gracie, I need the decision now, all right? Here comes the spam. There it is. Pick a name. Any name.
FXL61.
Wow. They have a family. They have a family. And they are. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't know what person on the internet that is not joking. I love you. Hey, FX, you didn't hear that from me. That was Gracie's choice, and she targeted you, a brother. All right. So, all right, FX.
I'm so sorry.
Isn't that kind of, it's like we have such a wholesome couple of hours, and then I say, all right, go for someone's, the Hunger Games begins. Salutes in the chat for FX. FX plays, Hulu plays real sports. All right.
No.
Hey, that's how we do it here in the streams. All right, Gracie, one more thing you got to do. All right, one more thing, Gracie.
Okay.
You've gone through the ringer with me. You've experienced this show. I like to think it's extremely unique, especially not even just for Twitch, but for but for YouTube, or even anywhere, content across the board. But I'm always looking for new streamers, whether it be watch, whether to interview, whatever it may be. So my question would be this, Gracie. Knowing what you do now, having experienced this show, can you give me one streamer that you would be interested in watching? All right, do this show. I can't make anything formal just yet. I still got to go through what I'm working with. But I always add names to that list. The same list I found you on. All right. So who is a streamer you would like to see share this story? And why?
I'm gonna say Clipso the Alien. My friend Clipso.
All right. And why so? Why did Clipso the Alien come to mind?
He is I see Grady knew it. Clipso's really great. He's a really, really kind individual who uh also really cares about his community and content creation in general. And he's just really cool. He's really fun to talk to.
Awesome.
Really, really great person.
Mr. Clipso the Alien, I gave you a follow just now here on Twitch. All right, expect this. You'll see this clip sometime on Twitter if you have a Twitter account. But you're on notice. Gracie puts you on notice. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. And scene. Anyways, that is me. Usually I used to do like whole ads, but I realize I gotta check out the work. I should probably see the streamer first rather than just randomly adding people. But
That's
Gracie,
fair.
it's out of just fairness, but I trust your opinion. I if you think I didn't keep it, look at it right there. Clips of it's on a sticky note. All right, it's all on a sticky note. I will
honor.
That's how I keep all my notes. All right, so I'll for sure check that out. FX, don't even worry about it, dude. You won't even see it until the next stream, so you have plenty of time.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, FX. I'm so sorry.
We'll see about that.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Gracie, all right. I appreciate the time that you shared with me and all those watching, whether that be live or in the future on YouTube or Spotify. That being said, this show, Inside the Streamer Studio, it came from one of my favorite shows growing up called Inside the Actor Studio. And you know it. You should. Yeah. Wait, thank you. Wow. Yeah. She's 17, guys. And this is. So many people are like, well, moms, I didn't have cable. It wasn't on cable. It was a public TV. But this guy, so I don't need to educate you on this, but let me tell you, on he's done this for 23 years, and he would bring on actors, actresses, entertainers of the sort, and he would talk about their personal life, then get into their discography, and once that all occurred, they would end the show the exact same way. 23 years they did this. 23 years. And James Lipton would ask their guests the same 2 questions, and as an homage, I do the same thing. I've been doing this for 63 episodes, and it is one of my favorite bits here. There's only 2 rules here, Gracie. And first one is I'm not going to talk. No reactions. You're just going to hear silence on my end. I'm going to wait for silence, and then we'll move on to the next question. The second thing is, aside from the fact that you do have to answer all the questions, try to keep it within one thought. Not one word, not one paragraph, just one idea, and we'll move on from there. All right, Gracie?
I'm ready.
Okay. And once everything's said and done, we'll do the last piece, and we'll go our separate way. All right. Question 1. What is your favorite word?
Wonder.
What is your least favorite word?
Hatred. I don't like it.
What turns you on? Can't say that. I can't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. That's just I have to preface it similar to how I preface the dating question. It is literally on the paper, guys. This is not me veering from anything. It is, please So
You're
that's what it says on the script.
You're
Go
fine.
ahead. Go ahead.
Kindness. Just be
Th-
kind.
It's 63 episodes, and this is the first time I've had to do this. And then, of course, the second one, what turns you off?
Not being kind.
All right.
That's it.
Now I can go back to the main thing
The
here.
normal.
Yeah,
We're
back
good.
to normal
We're
here. Thank you.
good.
What sound or noise do you love?
Laughter. And wind blowing through trees.
What sound or noise do you hate?
People crying.
What is your favorite curse word?
I don't think I have one. Typically when I say "oh golly," that's when people know I'm getting serious. I know. I know. I didn't realize it until someone said it in chat. Yeah. Yeah.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Acting.
What profession would you not like to do?
An office desk job for like a 9 to 5 every day. Couldn't do it.
And lastly, Gracie, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hmm. You did all right. You did all right.
And there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Gracie. Good job. Good job. Spot on. All right. I loved it. That's you did awesome. You did awesome this evening. Usually I'll take this moment, all right? I'll take this moment to kind of digest and discuss with you everything that from at least my point of view, I was able to witness firsthand and right in front of you. Gracie, you're very young. Like I made that joke. I've got a decade on you, but which is a weird comment, but at the same time, it's like it's actual factual. It
Yeah.
sounds cool, but I don't know. It's not the greatest comment to make if you're trying to be somewhat funny. It's too self-deprecating. A decade is 70. Okay, if you both can eat, but anyways, but let me say this, Gracie. Your story is filled with a lot of life experience, and you've shared just a glimpse of that. You didn't even go into crazy detail, and it's borderline impossible to. It is impossible to encapsulate someone in just a few hours. But if there's anything I've learned this evening is that your maturity as a woman here on Twitch is far advanced than what many would perceive. Like you've blown all my expectations out of the water in terms of how you carry yourself, how you want to own up to your passions, your vocations, and you're wanting to take another step forward with whatever this world has to give to you. I think that's really cool because it's very easy to quit. And I don't like saying that because it makes everyone else that has or that's thinking about it smaller. But hear me when I say this. There's a lot of strength and a lot of discipline and courage when you're trying to create something from nothing. When you're trying to put yourself out there on the internet, on this vast universe that we still are only scratching the surface of. And I'm not surprised at what you've been able to accomplish. I really am not, and it shows from
you.
even clips. You don't need to watch a whole vibe, but I did, and it made sense. Gracie, I'm very excited to see where life takes you, whether that be here on Twitch or beyond. I think you're bound to do some awesome things,
Thank
and
you so much.
hopefully you remember the old man down the road. All right, I would love to,
Of course.
Gracie. I would love to have you on the network. I have another show, it's the network, and I was thinking already instant pairing yourself and Aurora. I would love to have you both
Oh my
on.
gosh, that'd be so fun.
And
Yes,
we could shoot from the hip there. But
I would
Gracie,
love that. I'd be honored.
oh, of course. I will say that it's no holds bar on the network. All right, I'm much nicer on this one. But I would love to have you
I would love to be there.
and show you to some of my friends too on Twitch. I'm sure you know Brit Balls already, but not Payne, Parker, yada yada yada. That being said, I want to give you the last word, Gracie. Is there anything you'd like to say to those that are watching here live tonight, maybe in the future on YouTube and Spotify?
Honestly, you can't end yet because Jonathan just rated you.
Oh my god! So how are we gonna do this, Gracie? How are we gonna do this? How do we do this?
Ha!
This is
Yeah.
literally the last line of my mental script on how this is ran, Gracie. They came at the last possible word that would have come out of my mouth. This is how they did this. John, that's an insane. Jonathan, that's an insane rate. As well as thank you for the follows and the gifted, dude. But this is Gracie. I've never been in this position. You'd be surprised. I haven't been in this position. All right. Oh my gosh. Gracie, let me ask you this. We've done the whole show, basically, and I was supposed to give you the final word. Are you tired, Gracie?
No, I don't know how I'm not, but I'm not.
All right. You're not tired. I could swang with a little. I was about to order a milkshake, and now you've taken that that liberty is away from me. Let me stretch out. Let me ask this to the chat. I'm looking right at the chat menu here. Do you guys have any questions for Gracie here tonight? Moms, I used to a lot of positions, but not this one. Shit. Okay. Oh my gosh. No. Well, look at this one. Goes. Nope. If you have questions for Gracie, let's try this out. Exclamation mark Q. Do I just run the title screen again? Exclamation mark Q in the chat. I'll allow some questions to spill in. All right. I'm gonna spam it a little bit. Thank you so much for the sub there, immersions. Oh my goodness, Gracie. This is how's your day? So what are you up to?
My day's been great. I've just been, procrastinating work. That's typically what I do. Had 2 cups of coffee today. Been pretty great. I'm a fan of that. I honestly have been very unproductive today, but that's okay. Sometimes I think you need to be unproductive.
And what
I
time
think
do you usually go to bed?
anywhere from midnight to 1, typically.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're full on with that. I like that. Okay, here comes. This feels very Grady-esque, so let's just read this one. Is water wet? And use reasoning. Go ahead, Gracie. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted from one more question?
I see. The thing is, something that's like if something is wet, it's because it's like wet is an adjective to describe something being coated in water, right? Like it's if
Sure.
you dunk your hand in water, your hand comes out and it's wet because it's coated in water.
Okay, I'm
But
following
can
you.
water be dunked in water? Can water be submerged in water? That's my question to you. I'm not going to give an answer. I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Listen.
That's what you do.
Listen, 420 is in a month, Gracie. Relax. All right. Don't give me these hypothetical. When you think about it, relax there. All right. She's trying to reason with she's trying to give me some sort of TikTok conspiracy theory here. This is too much, Gracie. It's too much.
Yeah. turning
Now,
back around?
fair
Yes,
play.
there we
I'm
go.
get, I'm getting harassed here now in the comment. I mean, in the questions. Moms marry me? No, thank you. I already told you, don't mix that. Is a hot dog just an American taco? What is that? Go ahead. What is these? What are these? I'm just taking this
Um,
out.
I mean, kind of.
I could see it.
I can see.
I
I'll
could
say
see it.
yeah. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'll do this for another 30. All right. I got a couple questions here. What
All right.
episode would you recommend of Inside the Actors Studio? Questions for both of us. What would you say, Gracie?
I don't know. Any of them.
Really? There's a couple that stand out.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched them, but honestly, like I think they all have something that you can gain from. I
True.
think.
That's true. There's at
Yeah,
least one moment.
I'm indecisive and I can't pick just one of anything. So I don't think I could give a straight answer.
I would say take a look at what is it called? Dave Chappelle's was my favorite, hands down. There was such a good line there, and I'm actually writing a blog with one of the quotes that he said. It's really it's good stuff. I don't know what it is about comedians, man. They always have some sort of extra. It's one thing because they're funny, so you kind of give them an ear for that. But then
Yeah.
when they sprinkle in a little bit of wisdom, it makes it extra potent. The funny guy isn't supposed to also make you think, apparently, in society. Gracie, how do you deal with hate in general?
I try to go as long as possible without letting it get to me, but sometimes it just does, and I'll talk to people about it, but at the end of the day, I just have to realize that um there's nothing you can like I can't do anything to stop it because no matter what, someone's always going to find fault. And I have to recognize that people are around. There's always going to be people who are going to give hate because that's what their life revolves around, and that's it sucks and I hate it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let it get to me like it used to because there's no reason in that. That's just living your life worrying about other people and what they think. When in the long runs, in the long run, what other people think doesn't matter. It doesn't. It
And
doesn't matter.
it gets a little tough to if we're going to talk about hate in terms of content creation because it's such a one-way mirror. They can look into us and really pick us apart.
Yeah.
But
A lot of people are so much more brave when they're behind a screen with their keyboard. They would say
Yeah.
things they would never say to you in real life.
Gracie over here is 1v1 me at TwitchCon. That's what I'm hearing. I hear Bed Wars at TwitchCon. Just
You
gonna.
want to 1v1 me, haters? Do it. I will win.
Someone.
I guarantee you that.
This is the someone clip that and send that to her tomorrow when she remembers what she just said. All right. You want to hear this, haters? You want to fight?
You want to? I'm just saying, I do know a whole lot of MMA and self-defense. My parents didn't.
What?
Yeah, they didn't. They wanted me to be safe and all that because there are weird people in life, and so
True.
they had me do self-defense classes before I was allowed to go out and this was in middle school. So I learned all of that before high school, where I would go out with friends downtown or whatever for safety.
Have you ever had to use it?
I've never had to use it, thankfully, but I have used I've taught other people the skills that I've learned, and that's been really helpful. I can teach other people who may have actually needed to use it, which is super cool. I'm really grateful for that.
I like that a lot. I like that.
People are really surprised when they find out that me, of all people, knows how to throw a 6'5", 210-pound guy over my shoulder. If I'm in one of those those holds where they put it around your neck and you're dragged back, I could throw it over my shoulder.
But that's wild. That's wild. I oh my gosh, I need to find out how to defend myself. Let me ask.
I got you. I know that.
Yeah. You're gonna have to carry the fight between the two of us. All right. If anyone tries to jump me in front of you, you're gonna need to save me here. All right. It's just what it is. I have glasses. The last time I got in a fight, I asked the person, "Can I take off my glasses?" Do you know that? Hey, glasses are expensive, man. Glasses are expensive.
I don't blame you.
I had the cognitive to be at a bar and be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, go. Take a shot." It's just, it is what it is there. Let's get a little bit, let me ask a little bit about your feels here. What's the saddest you've ever been in life, Gracie?
Saddest I've ever been. Probably moving. Like any of those moves, probably I would have to say those moves. Any of them really. Except for moving away from Nevada. I was pretty happy about that.
Mm.
Those moves, and then when I lost with my family, we lost a dog in the summer. That was really hard. Like it's never easy to lose a pet. So I would say those two things, honestly.
I like that. What's your brother's username?
Grief. You see him in chat?
I didn't want to assume, but yeah, I saw the whole. I saw the
Mhm.
muscle strong guy.
Mm.
Oh, he's so crazy. There, look at these 3 dots. Whoa, why am I being
Very-
called out now?
he's very tough. Again,
I
he's
like
very
it.
tough behind the
True.
screen, right?
True. What's your? He's a big. Yeah, he's gonna. You got to practice those moves on him there.
There you
Oh,
go.
what's your favorite color? What's your color, Gracie?
A mossy sage green or like a blush pink.
I'll go with the green. The blush, not too bad. Not too bad. Like a rosé pink? What are we talking when we say blush?
Kind of like curtain and blanket type of, like really, really light. Because it goes really well with the green. Green is my favorite color, and then I would go like this is like the accent favorite color, right?
Same. Truth. I'm going to give you 2 names. All right. This is a very specific comment, and it's only because, and I'll explain it to you afterwards. And it's because I know it. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 2 names. Just choose between the 2. They're not bad, and I'll explain it to you after again.
Okay.
If I tell you the name O'Day and Blanchette, which one would you choose? What name would you choose?
Blanchette.
That's okay. This interview's over.
I don't know what this means.
These are 2 high schools here in Washington State, and it's one that I used to attend, and another one some nonsense person used to attend. They're just trying to flex. Gracie, it was a trick question. I'd say that we never do trap you questions. It's okay. It's okay. This one definitely is big shots if I've ever heard one, or a view. Do you enjoy pancakes or waffles? What do you gain from this? What is this?
If I answer this question, they will hate me forever.
Go ahead. I'll answer it with you. So there's solidarity.
You're gonna hate me, Joey, but waffles.
I'm about to make one right after the show, baby. Huh?
Wait, you like waffles? Oh no, it is waffles. Yeah, he likes. Okay, I'm glad you like. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, waffles are tasty.
I like waffles.
Stacks are weird, dude. Stacks I almost said oil. The syrup goes everywhere. You can't properly. It's just so much,
and it like soaks in even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crisp.
I do have a reasoning for why I love waffles, and it's not. I mean, obviously, a big part of it is it's really good because it's more than just pancakes. But for a while, we lived in a house that had an electric stove rather than a gas stove, and my mom could not make pancakes with the electric stove. They would always burn, and no matter what we tried, we could not get pancakes to work. So we just did waffles for like 5 years. We had waffles instead of pancakes always.
Mm-hmm.
We had, like our waffle maker, and so that's just what I'm used to, and that's what I love is waffles because that's what I grew up with, which is really funny to me.
I mean, like, it's not really so much the pancake as it was the way it was prepared. Like, I love those Cinestacks over at IHOP. Oh my gosh, it's insane.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, I can't justify because you get that crispy,
you have, like,
buttery.
the texture differences. That's really nice.
Insane. It's insane.
I get you 1000%.
Thank you. All right. I'm not. It's not an uphill battle here.
Not at
Okay, this one I want you to answer the person here. Why did you take away my VIP? How could you? Why did you choose that person to take away their VIP?
I'm
Vexel.
sorry. I am so sorry.
There
I
was 4 other choices, and
I know, and I
seems a
feel
bit
bad.
targeted. Seems a bit
I
targeted, if you
feel
ask me.
so bad. I feel so bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm
Is
so
the
sad.
Midwest any fun? What is there to do in the corn in the
The
corn?
cornfields.
Yeah, in the
Um,
cornfield.
the Midwest is fine.
What? That's it.
Fine. Um,
It's fine. Next question.
it's like I don't think I would actively choose to live here, but I don't mind it. Um, I mean, right?
God. I've never seen someone so like. Just say it sucks at this point. If this is what you want to say,
No,
Gracie.
no,
You
but that's
saying it's
like
fine is even worse. It insults my
no,
intelligence. All
no,
right.
here's the thing. It's better than other places that I've lived. So I really can't complain. Like, I'm not gonna complain because it's so much better than other places that I've lived.
Okay.
So, like, I genuinely, I don't mind it. Like, I wouldn't pick it to like, if I decided, like, "Oh, I'm gonna move somewhere. I'm gonna move out to the Midwest, middle of smack dab in the center of the country," probably wouldn't do that. I would probably pick a place that has more surrounding it.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm also not gonna complain because it's not the worst place I've lived, so I'm really not too mad about it.
If you had to choose one place in the East Coast and the West Coast, where would it be?
East Coast, probably I'd say probably, either one of the Carolinas or,
Interesting.
Virginia. West Coast, uh, I really liked Seattle. I really liked Seattle a lot. So I'd say Seattle or Yosemite National Park.
It's the coffee. It's the
It is.
Washington. Wow. I want to know what your brother Griff. Can you tell me where you would have chosen? All right. While we move on to the next question, there too. Do you? Oh no, this is. Oh, interesting. Any advice for making it through life?
Um, don't let other people dictate your character,
Mm,
and don't if someone is, you know, being not necessarily like being mean to you, but like don't let how people view you and how they judge you determine how you live your life because that just is going to cause you so much unnecessary stress and you're going to put so much energy working on trying to change minds that don't want to be changed. And you can put that energy into something else, something better, like um, I don't know, like literally anything that you're passionate about. Like, just don't let other people get to you, which I know is a lot easier said than done, but it's not worth it.
mm,
It's really not.
that's good.
Thank
Gracie, genuinely, how do you balance education and streaming?
I didn't for the longest there was a lot of stress. I wouldn't recommend, I no, so what I'm gonna say is I wouldn't recommend stressing yourself out like I did, because I was
Mm,
really stressed. For me, I had a really hard workload, and I had it in my head that I had to have a hard workload, and you really don't. You don't need a hard workload, so, like, balance it out, prioritize your mental health above anything else. Don't, don't focus on all of the things at once and stress yourself out to the max where then you don't even enjoy what you're doing.
mm.
So, yeah, you wanna find balance and you don't wanna put so much on your plate that you don't find enjoyment in the thing that you're supposed to love.
There you go. I like that. I like
Thank thank
that. um, let's see here. Okay, what is a Pop Tart pasta? Where is this something you understand?
No.
Yeah, okay, that's I'm not even gonna. We're not diving in it. Yeah,
I
okay.
don't even know.
These are some. There was back-to-back crackhead questions. I'll move on from there. Describe yourself in one sentence, Gracie.
Um, very, mm, very just a very bubbly, wholesome person.
Hmm.
Hopefully, that's the goal at least.
When you're asked these questions, I'm gonna start meta thinking you right now. Uh, when you're asked these kind of questions, do you answer them in what you hope the answer is, or in what you know of yourself?
Both. Um, I I hope that that's the answer. Like how I view myself, that would be the answer. But I also am afraid of saying something that isn't accurate, and so then it's more of like I hope that's how people see me, and I hope that's how I am, um, just in case it isn't. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely, definitely. I've it. Yeah, I find it always hard these questions to make
Yeah,
judgment of you, especially when you're a streamer. You don't want to sound like you're conceited or whatever. But
yeah.
I'm taking it from approach you're not. So I promise you. I promise you.
Thank you.
I'm okay. Okay, let me just address the elephant in the room, guys. Thank you so much.
There you go.
I appreciate the subs. Here's the thing. All right, this is gonna be brutal for me to say. It's part of the thing. I will reach out to you personally. I'll message you in the DMs. I'm so thankful, man. You guys have been You guys have been going crazy here while I'm trying to talk with Gracie. And I know from a guest standpoint, it's also hard because they're thinking, thank them. We're doing this. But since it is, me trying to not break the fourth wall, I will 100% reach out to you after the show. Thank you so much, guys. And even at the end of the stream, you guys are out of pocket, man. I appreciate that dearly. Um, here's one says, "Can you tell Gracie I say hi from Cursor?" Cursor says hi, Gracie.
Hi, cursor.
All right, clip that one. There you go. There's your thing. There it is. Just you got so many fans, Gracie. That's the thing. Okay, why is someone yelling at me? Do you know the Muffin Man? Okay, this
Oh, do
guy,
you?
not personally, but I've heard of him. Have you?
I've only heard of him through the grapevine as well. It's really, really an enigma, honestly.
Mm,
Very unknown.
okay, I like it. I like it. Here, since usually it's you put the questions in the thing, I'll read it aloud here. If you could grow up in any decade, Gracie, what would you choose?
Honestly, it's a toss up between like the 70s and 80s
Really?
and like I think the 60s are also pretty cool. Honestly,
Mhm,
like any of the 20th century decades.
mhm.
I think the like 1920s would also be cool before the stock market crash. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I don't think I would want to like grow up slash like live permanently. I just want to visit that decade, I think.
I like it. Okay, okay. A lot of food targeted questions. I don't know what this is. Quesadillas or mozzarella sticks? Speed round, go. And why?
uh, Quesadillas. I haven't had mozzarella sticks in years, but they are very good.
They are, but they're like, those ones I
They're
would
hard
feel
to
more
find.
guilty. They're fun, but it's
Yeah.
like I'm literally just eating a thing of cheese. Like,
Yeah, that's it. And then you eat like 5 to 10 of them, right? Like you eat so
exactly.
many.
Dip it in a marinara sauce. You got yourself an evening. But the thing,
Yeah.
I make an evening of it. Block out my plans, ladies and gentlemen. No, I can't go out tonight. I have plans tonight. Thank you for asking. What are you doing, moms? I got marinara sticks. I mean, I know. Fuck. Oh shit. I got mozzarella sticks. At the end of the day, it's just those string cheeses breaded, right? You know that, right?
That's literally it. That's it. And like,
That's
but that something about that makes it even more like appealing because it's breaded and fried or whatever,
yeah.
baked. That's what appeals to Americans is Anything
whoa,
if you think
whoa. Way to make Americans just sound so fat. And
no,
that's
you're
what,
not.
to you
Like,
Americans, listen. No, I'm joking.
I'm American. No. Like it's just like it's so like you could do anything, and then you bread it, and then
Truth.
all of a sudden it's a new delicacy, and it's so exciting. And no, I think it's fun. I love bread. I love bread.
But you chose quesadillas for a reason. What was it with the quesadillas?
I think I've just had them more often. That's
Yeah.
something that's more common in
Mhm.
my day-to-day life that I like it.
You still
Uh,
get the cheese kick too.
yeah, it's yeah, I know it's easier to make. I can make quesadillas. I
True.
can't make mozzarella sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's
Oh
that.
yeah. I saw a couple TikTok videos that would teach you how to make
There,
pasta.
TikTok is, groundbreaking
Are
in a
you
lot
on
of
that? You on that? You on food TikTok?
I am. I am on food TikTok.
Same
I
here.
I love it.
Have you done the feta pasta?
Oh, I've seen it around.
Yeah.
That one scares me just a little bit. I think
Why?
it would be good. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I think it would be good. I think
It's
it'd be
pretty good. Feta's kind of stinky. I forgot how stinky it can
Mhm,
get. Like
absolutely.
yeah. It didn't. It smelt wrong. It smelt wrong. Anyways,
Strange. Yeah.
favorite type of food.
Soup. I love soup.
What? Are you a million years old? Soup?
Soup.
Did you
I
ever?
It's so comforting. It's such a cozy food. It's so comforting.
What soup? What kind of soup? Educate. You got to hit me with this. What soup?
Corn chowder is really good. I'm a fan of that. It's a very good like summer soup.
Mm-hmm.
Chili's really good. Clam chowder, I haven't had in a long time, but I used to love clam chowder.
Yeah.
Um, that's just like from growing up on the East Coast, that was a big thing. Yeah, honestly, like those are my favorite soups, but I will take it. Like potato and leek soup is really good. I'm a fan of that one. I like soup. It's very comforting.
You're blowing
It's
my mind. You're blowing my mind. You could have had sushi, steaks, pastas. I'll
I
have
love sushi and pasta too. Those are like my close seconds. But like soup, I just
Well, soup is OP apparently. It's
it's
just
so good. Soup is so good.
all right. I'll ask you this in 6 months. All right. When it's hotter weather, when the dead of summer. Hey, yeah. Oh, Gracie, what you want to have to eat? Soup? You want a chilled broccoli cheddar? What? This is insane. You're telling me insanely right now. Give me your reality television show you're watching right now. What are you watching, Gracie?
I don't really watch a ton of reality TV. So my brother and I used to be on a Survivor kick. We loved watching Survivor.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I haven't watched it in a while. That was like the last reality TV that I watched. But especially like when COVID hit, we both really got into Survivor and watching a lot of those.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it on TV for a while, but I've 100% watched like compilation clips
Oh
on
my gosh,
YouTube.
compilation clips
So
are
easy. It's so
Yes, I
good.
love it. You get the whole story just from watching those. It's great.
Fun fact. I can't actually share that. That'll dox me. I was about to go into it, and then I was like, I guess the fact's not that fun. Let's just say that the host and I have something in common. That's about it. All right. So we got, we'll dap it up. There's a lot of stuff actually, reality television. Like I met someone from do you watch like any of those like The Bachelor, Bachelorettes?
I
No.
don't.
Thank goodness. Save yourself.
Yeah,
It's trash.
I-
It's absolute
I-
trash.
Those shows scare me.
It's so bad. But I met someone IRL at a club and she was on it. I was like, this is weird. Like there was cameras and all. I was like, this is off-putting. But mixing those worlds are never the best. By the way, I just want you to know, Gracie, I'm getting absolutely flamed because I'm commenting on your soup choice. All right, everyone's over here being like, Mom's is battling dementia and he's over here fighting about soups. He's got big. I was like, damn, like they clearly the tables have turned. And they are rooting for you big time to take me out, all right? They want you to take this tiny old man out of his misery. Take him out. Take him off stream. Let me ask this question. Just I'm going to edit this question to make this more relative.
Okay.
But Gracie, we were talking about your romantic history earlier, and you said that's not something that you're really focused on. It's not something that you've experienced yourself. But I'm still gonna ask you just from your point of view this question. any advice on how to land a significant other? We're talking both boyfriend, girlfriend, of course, depending on, gender and all that jazz.
Don't change yourself for anyone. I feel like I keep saying that but it's like applicable for everything. But like that is such a big thing. Is if you change yourself for someone just so that they like you, you then trapped in that persona, and then you have to worry 24/7 about acting like someone that you're not, just to stay with them. And at the end of the day, you want someone who's gonna like you for you. You don't want someone who wants you to be someone you're not, because then you aren't. They don't love you. They love the facade that you're putting up for them because you're changing for them, and you don't deserve that. It's not worth it.
You, I want to know. That's interesting. I like that advice. Solid advice. But what if the person's kind of shitty? Not asking for this person, whoever asked, but I'm saying, what if there's something about the person that they need to step up, that they need to, because we're always talking about how everybody else is,
Oh, absolutely. So like, from what like in my observation, a relationship should make both sides better. Like it should bring out the best in people. And if you are refusing to change because you're being an asshole, change. Be a better person.
This is
Please.
Gracie After Dark. What in the world?
Because like that's no, it's like it's huge, and it's something I'm really passionate about. Like you need to be a good person. And if you decide that you're too good to change, that's it. Like you don't you need to change to be better, but you don't need to change everything about you. That's what I have to say about that.
That's good. That's solid. That's solid. That's a lot of wisdom there. Where do you get all this?
I don't know. I just kind of pull it out of my head. I'm gonna be honest.
Grief, no snitches. All right, no snitches tonight, Grief. All right, that's all I ask from you. That's awesome though, Gracie. That's really cool. Like I think, more often than not, like in my culture, I'm Filipino. And in my culture, a lot of people dismiss individuals that are younger. You're too young, and again, like I said, I'm older than you, and so when I know if say IRL friends of mine were to watch this, it's like, whoa, what are you talking to this person, and what are they gonna share about to you that you wouldn't know yourself? But these kind of conversations are important to share for a moment in our in life and time. Our perspectives and what you've experienced is extremely different than anyone else, and including myself, and vice versa. We've all lived very individual, specific lives where we've lived through certain events, and we've learned from them. And so to have this time together and share them, and I'm not someone who's moved around a lot, and that's huge. Uprooting your roots and where you call home, and always taking that with you on the go, that's huge. And for anyone to just simply glaze over that is it's ignorant to the fact that those younger years are informative, those are transformative. And you want to set certain rules and regulations, but you can't, because you're always on the move. That being said, Gracie, all right, listen, it's 2 a.m. your time, all right? We've done our time. We've been nice here, all right? Gracie, I'm not even gonna have to do the whole 10 questions. We've done it already. I don't know how the editor is gonna edit this. I'll be honest, but that's not my problem, baby.
Don't worry about it.
I'll tell him when we're done. But I'll tell you this, all right? I've already said my piece, and I'll say it once more. Like, honestly, Gracie, having yeah, that's his thank you, Will. Thank you, should I be awake for this? Having this moment with you, like, it meant a lot to me. And it's more than just content. It's more than just, another feather in my cap of saying that we've done another show. but to hear you and to learn from you and share your story and celebrate your life here on Twitch, especially as you grow and progress. And again, sky's the limit. You know, who knows where this will take you. It's a really cool opportunity. It's a really special thing in my life personally, and I'm glad that you got to be a part of that, Gracie. But again, you have the final word, and no freaking raids. You have the final word. What would you like to say to everyone that's watching here live tonight, as well as in the future?
Drink your water. Water's really important. Don't forget to drink water. And just be nice. Just be a kind person. It's not that hard. And I think the world can always use a little bit more positivity. So just try. Just try to be nice. And everything will work out in the end. That's it.
There it is. Gracie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I really
course.
appreciate it.
Of course, I will hit you up in the near future, and I'll get you and Aurora on within the next month or so. I'm already booking the next 6 weeks worth of shows, so I would love to have you on again if you'd have me. All right.
I would love to come back.
All right, Gracie. You take care. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye-bye.